trading at 2.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,215. Antiwar.com reports having faced massive military losses since their September 25th vote to declare independence, Iraqi Kurdistan may be losing its substantial historical autonomy as well, according to Iraqi Prime Minister Haider Abadi. While praising Iraq's military victories, Abadi said that from now on, the Kurdistan regional government could have no say over international borders, control of their own airports, and most significantly, no control over oil exports. This effectively downgrades the Kurdistan regional government to little more than a provincial government that controls a couple of provinces. Abadi says that he would not accept just a symbolic presence at borders and airports, but rather that Iraq's central government must have exclusive control. The Kurdistan regional government has anticipated conflict with Iraq over its independence bid, but appeared to overestimate the ability of the Peshmerga to defend Kurdish soil from the Iraqi military. Apart from a few towns, Kurdish territory has largely fallen without a fight. For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports international alcohol producing and marketing company Constellation Brands acquired a minority stake in Canadian medical cannabis provider Canopy Growth Corporations, according to the companies on Monday. Constellation, which owns Corona Beer, will pay $191 million for a 9.9% ownership interest in Canopy Growth Corporation, in addition to warrants giving Constellation Brands the option to purchase additional ownership interest in the future. Constellation, based in Victor, New York, said they have no plans to sell cannabis products in the United States or other markets until it is legally permissible to do so at all government levels. Parts of the deal include plans for Constellation and Canopy to collaborate on cannabis-based beverages to be sold in places where such products are legal at the federal level. Canopy CEO Bruce Linton said there's no need to include alcohol, nor is there an intent to include alcohol in how we follow through with things. Whether you're looking for precious metals or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal judge in Washington on Monday blocked President Donald Trump from banning transgender people from serving in the U.S. military, handing a victory to transgender service members who accused the president of violating their constitutional rights. Trump announced in July he would ban transgender people from the military in a move that would reverse Democratic former President Barack Obama's policy of accepting them and halt years of efforts to eliminate barriers to military service based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Transgender service members sued in August to try to block the ban, which had not yet gone into effect, and U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Connolly granted them injunction halting enforcement of it until their case is resolved. The service members asserted that Trump's policies violated their rights to due process and equal protection under the law under the U.S. Constitution. The judge said the plaintiffs were likely to succeed in their claim that the ban was unconstitutional because the administration's reasons for it do not appear to be supported by any facts. After his policy announcement on Twitter, Trump signed a memorandum in August that directed the military not to accept transgender individuals as recruits and halted the use of government funds for sex reassignment surgeries for active duty personnel unless the procedure was already underway. The memo called on Defense Secretary James Mattis to submit a plan to Trump by February 21st on how to implement the changes, and the Pentagon has created a panel of senior officials for that purpose. In the meantime, the current policy of allowing transgender individuals to serve remains in force. Mattis, in June, already had delayed allowing transgender recruits to join the U.S. Armed Forces on July 1st as previously scheduled. The judge tossed out the suit's challenge to the sex reassignment surgery directive, saying none of the plaintiffs had shown they would be impacted by that prohibition. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
At Greyhound, we're committed to providing our customers with an exceptional travel experience, and that's why we've outfitted our 2014 line of motor coaches with new deluxe roadway seating that's moderately less disgusting than our traditional fare tickets. For a flat surcharge of $35, customers can upgrade to our exclusive deluxe seating area, where select seats have been refurbished with premium upholstery, boasting significantly less crumbs and Wendy's bags stuffed between the seats, guaranteed to leave you somewhat less repulsed than you are normally. Relax in the comfort that when your feet stick to the floor, they'll be sticking to up to 65% less indeterminate dried fluids. Passengers who upgrade to our elite seating experience will have the option of personalizing the garbage surrounding their seat with a pre-ride selection process, as well as a priority boarding feature where they'll be able to settle into their high-end motor coach accommodations without having to navigate through a crowd of inebriates, ex-convicts, and the morbidly obese. And from all of us at Greyhound, happy travels.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Boo! It's Free Talk Live, the Halloween edition. We're here in the studio. We'll talk to you about whatever you want. Of course, there's Halloween-related news stories and a real-life scary story of some maniac mowing down, like, I don't know, more than a dozen people on a sidewalk in New York City. So we can talk about all that stuff. And with you here in the studio, it's Ian.
And Johnson.
And Mark.
Don't forget, you can join us online. Just head on over to freetalklive.com and enjoy the features that we have there for you on the site. They are completely free, whether that's the archives or the front page of the site that allows you to actually create the content that you see on the site. Again, head on over to freetalklive.com. So, of course, we've got a Hell House story for tonight. This one's by Vice, and they actually really do a good job of kind of getting into and talking to, or actually it was written by somebody who's a former evangelical. So from his perspective on hell houses, having actually been part of a hell house back when he was a kid in the Evangelical Christian Church.
Sorry, I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
You don't know what the hell house is?
I think I may have heard of this concept. Refresh my memory.
So this is where, and thank you for asking, because maybe you're not the only one.
Right.
This is where evangelical Christian churches will put together a haunted house that's not a haunted house. It's, sort of their propaganda, their message of whatever it is they're trying to communicate based on their belief system. And it's sometimes very well done, like high production values, and that's what they'll be talking about in that story.
Which is sort of like I always thought it would be kind of amusing to do like a libertarian version of that, like the horrors of government house.
That's
and
actually
here's
a pretty
the
good
hall
idea.
Of taxes, children.
Right.
Here's where government wastes with inefficiency all of your tax dollars.
This is the room full of money that you would have had if it hadn't have been for regulations and taxes.
How about real government horrors like police shooting dogs, for instance? But here's another story that we've done the Hell House story, like, I don't know, almost every other year on Free Talk Live, because they go on forever. There's always some new Hell House to talk about and people who've never heard about it. So we're going to get into that. But just before the show tonight, I found over at Free Range Kids, Lenore Skenazy, who is the operator over there, great blog. Apparently she's also blogging for letgrow.org in an article titled How to Ruin Halloween. And this is something new. I can't say I've heard of this before, but maybe some of the parents out there have. Mark, you're the parent in the room here tonight. I did not tell you what this was about before the show, so we're going to get your reaction.
All right.
Trick-or-treating is something kids did and can do on their own. And we all did when we were growing up, right? Put on costumes as a child and walk around the neighborhood getting candy from houses, knocking on doors.
I don't think I ever did.
Really? Is it because you lived out in the farmland and there were no doors to knock on?
Right. So when I would go in for trick-or-treating, we usually went to a friend's house to go trick-or-treating with their kids, and them and their kids. And it was always sort of the parents would stay out by the curb, and we would go up to the house.
Don't listen to it, folks. Mark grew up a commie. We all know it.
So you're saying you did go door to door, just not by yourself?
That's right. We went door to door.
I see.
We didn't go by ourselves.
Got it. I don't remember at what age I went by myself, but I remember, let's say I don't remember going with my parents, except for at a very early age. So like maybe 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that range, I was out by myself or with friends. But
did either of you ever do anything for Devil's Night?
Is that the night before?
Yeah, the night before, where you do like the bad things.
Vandalism?
The TP?
Vandalism, essentially.
TPing?
Yeah, TPing
No,
houses
I never
or
did
egging or any of that stuff.
No,
Yeah,
never did anything like that.
Me either.
That's bad karma. So here's how kids are being encouraged now, because society, she says, is morphing this delightful childhood tradition into dangerous encounters with strangers. So now in California's Bay Area, Bart, you remember Bart, right? From not The Simpsons, but the Bay Area Rapid Transit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do truly think, though, that there are dangerous encounters out there every Halloween night. I mean, after all, your kids could possibly end up being triggered.
Your kids could, if it's in a...
They could be triggered by all these offensive costumes appropriating other cultures.
Oh, that's one way to go here. I thought you were going to say they could get triggered by a trigger-happy Bart cop who shoots you in the back. Because that's the last time we talked about Bart on this show, was when the cops had some dude down on his... like, they had him down on the ground, surrounded by multiple cops. He had his hands behind his back, and they were cuffing him, and some cop just like pulled his gun and shot him in the back and got 11 months in prison for it, and that was it. But in this case, BART is the local public transit, and here is their press release from Transit Police. Quote, children who visit Coliseum and South Hayward stations from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday, October 30th will get a special treat from BART's police department. Officers will host BART's second annual Halloween Trunk or Treat event, a safer alternative to the house-to-house Halloween trick-or-treating tradition. Candy, games, and special prizes will be offered. Trunk or Treat is free and open to all children 12 years and under. All children must be accompanied by an adult. Trunk or Treat is much like classic trick-or-treating. Kids still dress up in costumes and ask for candy, but instead of walking from house to house and encountering strangers or dodging traffic at night, trunk or treaters are in a designated area, collecting candy, playing games, or getting their faces painted. All of these activities take place with their parents, guardians, and police officers close by. This event is another way that our department is reaching out to the children and families in our communities to establish and maintain a positive relationship with them. All right, first responses before we get into Skenazy and what she has to say about it.
So, on one hand, any organization that wants to put on a party, during a holiday or without it, whatever the reason might be, invite a particular group of people, fine by me. I think I could do this. This comes with the context of police departments across America for decades, scaring the bejesus out of everybody because of Halloween. Basically saying you can't go near those strangers' house; they'll put a razor in your apple. They're gonna, there's a Laws rocket in every Snickers bar.
They're gonna give your kids ecstasy,
handfuls of drugs. Like this whole thing, right? Like on one hand, like there's a context of that.
They were doing it again this year, saying that you look out for medical marijuana candy, that these edibles.
Yes, you've got a story about that, don't you, Mark?
They're going to be given away to, really? Like, they're going to give away these expensive.
They're going to spend $5
expensive
per candy
products.
Right, extremely expensive. And I will read the first line in case we never get to the rest of it, because that part is worth it. From the Washington Post, there are no documented cases of kids being poisoned by marijuana-laced Halloween candy. Zero, zilch, nada. Now, when was the last time you heard a news story from a major newspaper in the United States say zero, zilch, nada, Mr. and Mrs. America? Because let's drive this point home. There has been no documented cases of kids being poisoned by marijuana-laced Halloween candy, and any police department, including the several that are lined up in this article, that tells you this is a disinformation organization that is not looking out to protect or serve you. They are a bunch of liars.
There was some post, one of these marijuana, editable stories that was going around in some Philly newspaper or whatever, and I actually specifically dropped in there to comment to say, hey, how come this specific story of all your stories doesn't have a byline? Why couldn't the author of this story out themselves, you scumbags? Seriously, because it's like they're just republishing propaganda without a.
Well, that's how you do it. I mean, that's what you do with propaganda. It wasn't Hitler's
they didn't wanna,
propaganda minister. You have to keep saying it over and over again. Didn't he say that?
But they couldn't, unlike the rest of their news stories, they couldn't actually attach an author to that one.
Right.
They're
embarrassed. Hopefully
that's
newspaper
deeply
policy.
Embarrassed.
In a lot of cases.
I think the police departments across America need to take a little bit of time to do introspection, including the ones out in Los Angeles, and say, you know what? It's okay for people to go out and meet other people. It's all right for young people to meet people who aren't exactly their age and receive candy from them. And all of these things are okay. And we're going to stop hyperventilating like a bunch of sissies. But having a party for kids, fine. I don't have a problem with the PAL Police Athletic League baseball games or any of this stuff. I think that kind of outreach is great, but I'm not going to ignore the context either.
All right, there's more on the way here. Your calls and thoughts on Trunk or Treat, the police trying to take over Halloween and offer a safer alternative for those parents who are scared S-less about all the terrible things lurking out in the darkness. 855 450 free like freedom. This is Free Talk Live. Join us here.
Message and data rates may apply.
Oh my gosh, that's Frank Thomas.
No.
Yes, that's him. Go ahead. Excuse me, are you Frank Thomas?
Yes, I am.
I bet you get recognized a lot.
I was a pretty good ball player.
You were?
Some people thought so.
Sorry, we recognize you from those Nugenics commercials.
Oh, yeah? That's great.
So does Nugenics really work?
Oh, yeah. I really can feel the difference. My workouts are better, and I feel a lot more energetic.
I wish my husband would use Nugenics.
It's so easy to get started. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Text the word Radio77 to 42424 for a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And you're going to like the difference, too.
Text Radio77 to 42424 for a complimentary bottle of Nugenics. Samples are not available in stores. Text RADIO77 to 42424.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1. Plus, an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are 2 Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything you want. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, and that's 855-450-3733. We're talking about the new wussified version of Halloween, and I guess it's probably not that new, but apparently it's the second year, according to the San Francisco BART office, BART Police Department, Bay Area Rapid Transit, where they're setting up a trunk or treat event, which apparently is going to be some sort of, I don't know, special event where they're going to have it all fenced off so no strangers could possibly come there except for all the strangers who are police officers and whoever else they have working the event. And then they're going to let kids walk around with parental guidance up to age 12, walk around this event and collect candy as well as play games and get their faces painted. We'll tell you more about this coming up here because they're basically trying to make it sound like Halloween is so dangerous for your kids that they should only be taken to the police department for Halloween at this point. And we'll get further into that. Your calls and thoughts welcome. Also, do want to let you know about Blink Home Security. Mark, you and I, we were both away over the weekend down in Texas for the Bitcoin conference. And by the way, we do still have several more after shows that we're going to be including in our podcast throughout the week, just because we had so many interviews that we did. We had more than we could fit in our radio show, so we're going to be including those throughout the week. But anyway, while we were there, if something had gone wrong or something had happened in your home, you would have gotten a notice, and so have I, because we've got the Blink Home Security systems that we've installed, and it's super easy to do. I mean, Mark, even you were able to figure out how to do this, and I mean, it's straightforward. You just, as long as you get a smartphone and Wi-Fi, I mean, you can easily hook these things up and make it so that when something happens in front of one of these cameras, you get a notice on your smartphone. You can watch the clip of whatever it was on your phone wherever you are away from your house, or even while you're in your house. You can sometimes get the notices, depending on what hours you have the things set to operate.
It takes about, in my case, it takes about I'd say 1 second for it to be delivered after the clip is complete. So if you have it set for 5 seconds, then it'll take about 6 seconds after the light goes on.
You can set the length of the clip, is what you're saying.
Right, and you can set it up to 30, I think I've got, in some cases 30 seconds. Also, I'd like to point out, while we were away, I checked in on my house just to make sure everything was fine there by using the cameras.
And so you could check in on the live feed.
Yeah, you can just take a live feed, yeah.
So blinkprotect.com, you can get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge for one. Head on over to blinkprotect.com/FTL. That's how we get credit for your visit. That's blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. Let's go to Pete. He's in Berlin. Pete, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian Johnson and Mark.
Guys, happy Halloween.
Hi, Pete. Go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say I love your show, and I think that the whole trunk or treat thing is kind of crazy. You guys probably know one of our founding fathers warned us and said years ago that those who give up their freedoms for security will get neither.
That's right.
Correct.
Do you know which founding father that was?
I think it's misattributed
to Franklin.
Yeah. And anyways, I think, there's risk in everything you do. And I think the kids should be able to go out and keep with the tradition of going door to door and getting the candy, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it hasn't been prohibited. Let's just be clear. I mean, even though it's California and it's one of the least free states in the country, this trunk or treat thing, they're, I think, number 49 on the list of the 50, the freedom in the 50 states, as it's called. So even though they're offering this event, they haven't made it illegal to go door to door. So, I mean, it could be worse, I suppose.
It's kind of heading that way. I originally grew up in Michigan, and they're doing that there. And, they have the police there, and they do it in the Walmart parking lot in the town where I was at. Is pretty popular. And different states. I see it as just something that's coming down the tubes, and I think it's horrible to change our tradition and do that.
Why do they call it trunk or treat? Are there the police cruisers there with their trunks open? The kids get to climb inside?
Where I was from, they would screen people, and the police would do it and have stuff in their trunks. But also there was firemen there, and then there was individuals from the community that the police screened, and they would put stuff in their trunks, and then the kids would walk around and get things from the different trunks of cars.
Okay. Weird.
I wonder what this screening entails.
You could even spin that and say, okay, so we're teaching kids that it's safe to go up to a stranger's car with their trunk open.
Yeah, I don't think that's
inside.
Look, kid, as long as that guy's got a uniform on, you could totally go climb in his trunk. That's safe.
Exactly.
Anything a man with a uniform says is completely safe.
Until you're in your early teens, at which point you should stop speaking to them because they're going to try to put you in jail.
Yeah, we're right here, Pete. Go ahead.
The reason for my call, you guys have a good show, and I'm starting to get hooked on it. I wanted to offer some things for you and your staff for Halloween.
Okay.
You guys like T-shirts?
I got a bunch of T-shirts, so I'm not really looking for any new T-shirts.
Okay, well, if you've got a girlfriend or if there's anybody there that works for you, I would like to offer your entire staff free T-shirts.
Well, that is awfully nice.
From DirtyGirlsCo.com.
Well, here's what you can do. If you're looking to advertise, you can reach out to Mark. He handles our sales here, so his email address is mark@freetalklive.com. Pete, thanks for the call tonight. Toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Let's continue here. Scott in Massachusetts. Scott, are you scaring the kids away with some of your bigotry this Halloween? Do you have
good evening,
an offensive
this Halloween,
yard
that
you've set up?
To be scared of. Millions of illegal aliens roam the land. Millions of blacks and Hispanics have run amok. Millions of Jews have
just to be clear, Scott, before you go on with your prepared statement, the so-called illegal aliens, these are peaceful people. So you're saying millions of illegal aliens. You're trying to make it sound like that's some kind of scary thing. These are peaceful human beings who've come here looking for a better life in most cases, and they are working hard and supporting their families.
Millions of people with cultures that are different than mine have been going around, and I know what's right for everyone. My opinions are morally superior to everyone in this country, and you should listen to me. So, everybody else is wrong, and they're bad because they've got more melanin in their skin.
They're different.
So clearly it's a problem, and you should hate them.
He's not just obsessed over melanin. He's also upset about religious beliefs as well. He doesn't like anyone but Protestants.
Millions of Jews have enslaved America with their control of
millions of Jews. Now, wait a minute, Scott, come on. You're contradicting yourself. I mean, now you're saying millions of Jews, but sometimes when we hammer you down on the subject, you claim it's only the so-called international Jews. This is your term. But are there millions of them? Because the way you've described international Jews before is like the super rich, super wealthy, super connected Jews. Are you trying to say there are millions of those?
There are millions. The Jews as a whole, as a race, are extremely powerful. But if you want to,
so a Jewish janitor is extremely powerful.
The super wealthy, like Lloyd Blankfein of Goldman Sachs. Yeah. Henry.
Let's get back on your prepared script. Okay, go on. Millions of this, millions of that. Keep your kids at home. Government. So are you one of these guys that you wouldn't let your kids go door to door on Halloween?
Of course, I would let my kids go to door to Halloween.
What if they wanted to wear yarmulkes, their costume?
Party myself soon. I have a choice. I need your.
You're not going to a Halloween party. You don't know how to socialize with human beings. Thanks for the call.
Should I go as a Klansman or a Nazi?
More coming up here in moments.
Be creative.
The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want. More about Halloween in moments on Free Talk Live.
Chad here, owner of Infidel Body Armor. With the shooting in Vegas, there will be calls to ban guns and body armor. You can expect prices to rise dramatically in the coming weeks as gun grabbers try to outlaw your freedom. If you don't have your armor kit yet, you're behind the curve. Don't miss your window of opportunity. Go to infidelbodyarmor.com and click on Specials. That's infidelbodyarmor.com.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. $39.95 plus shipping and handling. Use discount code GCN and receive 15% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter and get your Bug Assault today.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can dial in toll-free at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got Skype as well, so Skype on in here at Skype username LRN.FM if you want to weigh in on the continued rounding off of the corners, protecting the children from all possible risks in life, this theme that we see so common in society today. It's being expressed loudly by the Bay Area Rapid Transit Police Department, who has invited children and their parents to come to their Trunk or Treat event, which apparently is not unique to Bart.
Get in the trunk, kid.
Yeah, it's kind of a creepy name. The toll-free number here, if you want to join us,
Halloween.
855-450-FREE like freedom. And cops are scary, so there you go. Let's go to Ricky. He's in Pennsylvania. You're on Free Talk Live, so we'll get back into the Halloween thing here. Ricky, did you dress up for Halloween tonight?
That's the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania there, Brother E. And boo, happy Halloween.
Hey, what's on your mind, Ricky?
I'm not a scary cop, brother.
I didn't say you
I don't know
were.
about
I asked you if
that.
you dressed up for Halloween.
Sure, I dressed up as Ricky from the Commonwealth.
Does that mean you were wearing your regular outfit of a Confederate battle flag wrapped around your back?
That dressed all in black from head to toe with a wide-brimmed hat.
Now, this is something I want to let you know. Our listeners online on the Facebook group, the AMP Only Facebook group, they have requested photographic evidence. They would like to see a picture of Ricky. Now, obviously, we're here in the studio, so we can see what you look like. We've got your profile pic here that is included with your Skype profile, so we can see you with your dark sunglasses on. But our listeners online can't do that. And we don't get
that breaks my heart.
And we
That's
don't
too bad.
get to see you with your full outfit. So what I'd like to request is that you go ahead and take a picture, or have somebody take a picture of you with your regular Ricky flag, all dressed in black with a hat. If you could do that and then go ahead and send that to us over your Skype chat when you have it, we'll post that online, and our listeners will treasure it forever.
Do I get a prize for that?
They will treasure it forever. You will get the appreciation, the good vibrations coming at you through the universe from all of those people.
Either that, or I'm going to have 1,000,001 people coming after Ricky from the Commonwealth.
Coming after? What do you mean? Why would posting your outfit? Why would that? I mean, people take selfies all the time.
Well,
People don't come after them.
I'll tell you. I'll take that under consideration. But here's tonight's topic.
How are we going to encourage this, Mark? Because some people are
you
going
need to create a shrine of chronic callers.
Well, no, here's what I was thinking. I can get back to this. Now think about this. Because I was thinking about things from the past. People who modern day may not know Ricky from the Commonwealth with some of my predictions. You go back into the archives 2-3 years and look at my predictions. They might be pretty scary.
What prediction are you? Yeah, go ahead.
I can give a couple of them. Now, some people make fun of me. Look at the Hillary Clinton hack. Well, you don't realize it, Ian, but your show was the first. I was the first person to break what that hack was really about that I know about. Now, there was some boys in New York.
What hack are we talking about? Is this the Russian thing?
But still. Now, let's go on. There's a couple other things. You can check all this.
Just let him.
I've got better things to do.
Just let him.
I really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about
I've got a lot of better things to do than check your claims, dude.
Talking about that, too.
Give me your best claim. Give me your best prediction that has come true.
Oh, I got a lot of them, brother.
Just one. I only want one.
It's my theory, brother, and you're right on point tonight a couple years ago. It's called the Civil War. It's called a lot of things I talk about.
That hasn't happened yet. You were saying that there's going to be some sort of a race war in the United States. There's no civil war.
Oh, hold on, Ian. Now, I talked about the biggest lie. And it's funny because
you can't just hold on. You can't just trot out a claim saying that you predicted a civil war,
and then predict a civil war 160 years
into the archives.
after it happened.
Time for it.
All right. Well, I don't have time for this. Thanks for the call. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom.
I can give a visual description. He kind of looks like Wild Bill Hickok from Deadwood.
Yeah.
You're referring to the picture that we're seeing here in the studio. Yeah, but I still would like to see that. I mean, I got to agree with our amplifiers. I would like to see the full Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky with
outfit.
the Confederate flag cape, and the big hat and the sunglasses and the whole deal.
Maybe
wears,
once
I wonder if he wears those sunglasses in the house at night when he's alone.
Should we make it so that chronic callers like Ricky have to at some point, like once you hit chronic caller status, you have to give us a verification photo? That way, like, we can collect, because they're going to want to keep calling, right? Wouldn't that make it so they would actually, like, rather than offering to pay them or whatever, some other incentive.
Rather than offering carrots and positive reinforcement, you just give them a bunch of negative reinforcement and whack them with a stick.
It's not negative reinforcement. It's just
you can't call again unless you give us a picture.
Right.
No, that's not
it's just a requirement.
It's completely contrary to your particular philosophy.
What do you mean? How is that contrary to a philosophy?
You are not.
It's private property. You can have whatever rules
you don't really believe in negative reinforcement.
I don't see that as negative. It's just a rule of access. Hey, you want to keep calling the show every single night? Then we're just asking for a simple picture so we can show our listeners what you look like.
You create the shrine of chronic callers, then they're going to be excited to be on it.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Ricky thinks people are going to come after him. So I don't know if I agree with you.
You just badger them until they do it.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. I tried badgering Ricky in New Jersey. Ricky? Ralph. I tried badgering Ralph in New Jersey to install Skype so we could understand him better, and he never has. So I don't know if you can badger someone into something. Anyway, the toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. In this case, it would be an incentive, Mark. Hey, you like calling the show?
I don't have technology like you animals.
Here's what you got to do. No, it's Sarah, I don't think, that would have the technology.
Yeah.
But I bet she knows somebody who has a phone. Anyway, trunk or treat. This is the story from letgrow.org. After the press release where the police department there in San Francisco, the BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit, invites children 12 years and under who are accompanied by adults to go into their trunk or treat event where they can collect candy in a special designated area instead of walking from house to house and encountering strangers. Lenore Skenazy, who wrote the piece, says, number one, why is it suddenly so dangerous to go house to house? If there are enough police to run a face-painting, prize-giving candy fest, why not redeploy them as crossing guards for the night to prevent the only real danger, which is traffic accidents? Now, that is true, right? That's one of the things they say is, hey, be very careful when you're driving around on Halloween because, kids might dart out in front of you.
Squishy little goblins that might get run over.
But she's asking an important question here, and we kind of touched on this earlier. Many of us grew up in a time when it wasn't really a concern about going house to house. And if there was a concern, then your parents might say something to you like, hey, Johnson, make sure you don't go to that one house on the corner with, the creepy guy living there, or the one that has all of its lights turned out, right? The rule is, the general rule is if the lights are turned out, you don't go to that person's house. There are some pretty sensible kind of rules, and obviously risk is always involved in life, and I think that having a little bit of risk out there is an important thing for people to experience. Even though, nothing generally happens, I'm sure over the years of decades of Halloweens, there's probably some awful experience some kid has had with one of the houses in the neighborhood. And I don't know what level of news coverage these things have received. There was the claim, I remember we looked into it one year with the razor blade apples. Remember that claim? Didn't somebody do that like one time or never? Like it's hardly ever happened.
Well,
in the
something's happened, but the problem is that the cops are going to be like Columbo on this case. They're going to be all over and figure out who put this poisoned or razor blade or whatever candy out there. You are going to go to jail if you do that trick. I mean, end of story.
According to Snopes.com, pins, needles, and razor blades have been found in trick-or-treaters' loot. Although random Halloween candy poisonings are confined to the realm of urban legendary, many actual cases of tampered trick-or-treat loot involving the insertion of pins, needles, or razor blades have been documented. These cases constitute a different class of tampering than poisoning for a couple of reasons going on here. Then they get into the motivations, but apparently there are some examples of this out there. But I can't tell you I ever encountered anything like that. The worst part about Halloween was just some of the bad candy out there. Remember those black and orange, like nondescript wrapped candies?
Yeah, those are gross.
Those are terrible. Why do people buy
as bad
those
as candy
things?
corn?
That's
just disgusting.
From the first letter of Captain Mark. History is full of flowery documents claiming to limit the power of the crown, but these poetic social contracts have been impotent to prevent the predation. Limited government is a lie they use to keep us submissive. The crown cannot be trusted to abide by its founding charters, nor its treaties, nor even its own rules. The essence of the crown is centralized violence, and I've had enough. That's why I raised my black banner. I am no revolutionary. My aim is not to reset the cycle of violence, but to break it. My aim is an evolved society, invisible to the crown. Not a new hierarchy, but decentralized networks with no central figure for the crown to target. If you want your servile life, keep it, but we will not submit to the crown's agenda. And when you are ready to stop being its beast of burden, ready for adventure and opportunity, join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
BuySellMakeOffer.com is better than ever. I'm Pat Matthews here to tell you that BuySellMakeOffer.com, the revolutionary site for buying and selling anything and everything, just upped the ante. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and click the Sign Me Up button. When you do, you'll get the first month free, and then it's just $9.95 a month to be a member forever. And you don't need a credit card for the initial setup. Create your own store on the site and sell whatever you want, as long as it's legal, however you want, and sell an unlimited number of items. Create your own intro video to describe what your store is all about. Use Skype to see who you're buying from or selling to. Sell unused household items, as well as antiques, cars, televisions, collectibles, real estate. The possibilities are unlimited. Use social networks to promote your store right from our site. Remember, there are never any fees no matter how much you sell. Become a member today. I'm a member. Get all your friends to sign up too. This could become a great business for you. Sell whatever you want for the first 30 days free at buysellmakeoffer.com.
From that romantic summer evening in 1924 when Pol Pot was conceived, to the first time someone figured out how to eat a pineapple without ripping their mouth to shreds. This week in history, 1692, 5 citizens were executed after being convicted during the Salem witch trials, all while dozens of witches, warlocks, and sorcerers stood by and watched the wrongly accused take the rap for them, while the perfectly normal humans charged with witchcraft were publicly hung and dragged to their unmarked graves. The numerous Salem citizens that did spend their evenings casting spells and awakening the dead merely lowered their heads as their friends and neighbors were burned at the stake.
Historical records have indicated that as many as 35% of the people in Salem were actually witches and warlocks. In fact, the executioner himself was a well-known necromancer who, after hanging the wrongly accused witches, reanimated their dead bodies and apologized before casting them into the eternal fires of hell.
This is the Onion News Network.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Lil Drums. Every bit as fun as a full-size Nestle drumstick cone, and definitely cuter. Visit us at drumstick.com. Vacations are all about family time, but you don't have to leave home to have fun. Take 1 weekend a month and devote it to family activities. Pull out the board games and puzzles, serve up some treats, or have a picnic. Even without leaving home, you'll feel like you've really had some time away. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Are you the kind of parent who would prohibit your kids from going house to house and collecting candy on Halloween? Because I don't know. I would love to talk to one of those people. They must exist, right?
Oh, I know they exist. I went to a Christian school growing up from kindergarten through 8th grade, and I always felt terrible, or I still feel terrible, honestly, for the kids that, they didn't get to participate. We had dress-up day. You could come to school. I think it was just an elementary school, in costume, and
some of the parents would like make cookies or whatever and bring. And you'd have like a Halloween
there'd be a little
costume party. Yep.
I
remember
that sort of thing. And then basically, there was a group of kids that, small group, like 3 or 4 or something like that.
The opt-outs.
Yeah, that would basically go to another room for another event where they didn't get to participate, and they always look forlorn. Oh, we don't celebrate Halloween.
That's right.
It's just, the number one costumes are over and over again, superheroes and princesses and things like this that have nothing to do with demons and
Let's
all
get
this
the costume
crap.
list from this year. We haven't done that in a long time. We used to go through the top because they're different. They're slightly different. I mean, you're right, Mark. There's the mainstays that you're talking about, but then there's sometimes like Marvel movies will come out during the year, and some Marvel
That's
character
what it tends to be about,
will shoot up to the top of the list. So we'll see what the top costumes are. You can share your thoughts with us here. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Boy, one thing that is definitely not scary news today is the price of Bitcoin. Over $6,400 US. It's per Bitcoin. It's another record day for Bitcoin, record price high. Incredible news. Bitcoin.com is, of course, where you can go to not only learn about Bitcoin, the world's most foremost and important decentralized and first cryptocurrency in the world. Go to Bitcoin.com to learn more about it. We just got back from a Texas Bitcoin conference, which was sponsored by Bitcoin.com. And as I mentioned, we've got coming up throughout the week, we'll have extra interviews, bonus interviews that we did at the conference. Those will be included in our podcast. So if you're a radio listener and you want to hear those, you can just go to freetalklive.com and then grab each podcast each night, and it'll be at the very end of the podcast show for that episode. So again, Bitcoin.com, go there, learn more. And if you want to get the latest news about Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency-related headlines, again, that is news.bitcoin.com in that case. So trunk or treat, which police are describing as a, quote, safer alternative to the house-to-house Halloween trick-or-treating tradition, where the children 12 years and under, who must be accompanied by an adult, will be walking around from trunk to trunk, apparently, in the police parking lot. Yes, Mark. Oh, you're holding up your hand because you have, what, the research?
List of costumes that you asked me to get about 1 minute ago.
Good to know. Good to know. So anyway, back to the story here of letgrow.org. Number 2, according to Lenore Skenazy, kids can be up to age 12, but still must be accompanied by an adult. How infantilizing. Can you imagine that? I mean, age 12, you are solidly in middle school years. You are not wanting to be, hanging out with your parents.
Part. As a police officer, I don't want responsibility for your stinking brat. Okay, if you're gonna come to this event, you come and you take care of your kid. So I don't agree with it from that standpoint.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to encourage any children any age to go to the police department event, because if you're not with your parents, they're going to start questioning you. They're going to try to learn things about you and your parents, and possibly try to investigate and bring them up on charges for some sort of child neglect. So yeah, you definitely don't want to go there. But Skenazy's just pointing out that the idea that the suggestion here is that people under the age of 12 should not be somewhere by themselves, and that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous idea. And it is this overprotective mentality that is suffocating young people's ability to develop adult tendencies and habits and responsibility early on in their life. Because if you're always accompanied by an adult up until a certain point at which some sort of societal rule says you can finally be let go somewhere on your own, then that transmits a negative message. It transmits a destructive message to the idea of independence to children, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess since I didn't go out trick or treating
alone.
Yeah, alone. I guess am I somehow has my independence been destroyed, Ian?
Well, you didn't grow up in the culture that this culture has towards the idea of children going out alone. And I mean, were you still allowed to go down the street by yourself playing with your friends?
At 6 years old, I took a bike to the next street over.
There are some parents who won't allow that to happen, right?
Sure.
There are some places where the parents will get arrested if their kids are leaving their possession.
But let's talk about the illness and not talk about the perceived symptom. That's what my concern would be.
Well, is this the chicken or the egg? Is it an illness or a symptom that the police are going out and arresting parents for letting their kids go to the park by themselves or walk home from school by themselves? Is one creating the other, or is it a constant process of self, reaffirmation?
I think it's all one-upmanship between parents is what it comes down to. Is the police are generally young people. I mean, they're usually going to be
early 20s,
younger guys, the ones that are on the beat and that sort of thing, in many cases. And they've grown up in a world where you don't let an 8, 9, or 10-year-old go out by themselves. Now, they do in where I live, but we're out in the country.
Or if you do, then you might get arrested. So even if you have the mentality of, I want my kids to be independent, I want them to experience life without having to hold their hand the entire time through everything, then you might get punished for that, which means you'd be less likely to do that. And so it could be this sort of self-reinforcing, self-fulfilling prophecy thing. Number 3, Skenazy says, quote, instead of encountering strangers, unquote. So again, that's from the press release from the police. She says that's the whole idea of Halloween, encouraging people or encountering people who are not pre-screened, getting to know your neighbors. The police are teaching kids to consider all strangers as potential fiends. And this isn't an old concept. I can remember this from back as far as when I was a kid. I remember stranger danger, I think is what they called it back then. The idea being that every stranger was some sort of potential lurking, lecherous kidnapper or murderer or whatever.
I don't think I was taught that. I was taught that you obey, adults. And
really?
Yeah.
What about you, Johnson? Did you ever encounter the stranger danger mentality?
Not much. There was a little bit of it in, I grew up in Connecticut, and I mean, very little. I mean, it was just sort of like, be aware, just not.
Okay.
Not that you can't, just be aware of your surroundings and don't be stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it being hammered in, and I don't think my parents really, hammered that one into me, but it definitely existed. I'm thinking I might have seen it on television somewhere, and maybe it's even worse now. If you're a parent and you want to comment, you're welcome to join us here at 855-450-FREE like freedom. More from Skenazy. She says the kids are corralled into a designated area, a safe space, as it were. This is implying that they are only safe when they can be watched over, and that's the basic premise of house pets and prisoners. Number 5, and just in case that wasn't safe enough, there are guardians and police nearby. This turns a night of fun and freedom into a night so incredibly treacherous that the children need 2 levels of protection. Right, so even though they've pre-screened or whatever, and they're out in an open parking lot at the police department,
full of cops, and then they need parents too.
Number 6, the cops are reaching out to the locals. She says, I truly do appreciate this. They are trying to connect. Unfortunately, they're also following the trend that says kids are never safe without gobs of supervision. It's great for kids and cops getting to know each other as humans, but treating everyone under 12 as a potential victim and every adult as a possible perp is not the way to create community. She says Halloween is no more dangerous than it ever was. Crime is at a 50-year low. The only thing at an all-time high is distrust. Now, are there dangerous people out there? Of course there are, and many of them are wearing a uniform and a badge. And of course, as we've seen with a police chief here in the southwestern corner of New Hampshire, going to prison for the rest of his life for raping at least one child, you can't necessarily think that just
Define
because
child,
like an actual child.
Okay.
I'd have to pull up the story to get you the actual ages, but we're talking about prepubescent childhood. Anyway,
he's
and
not
he was
be
a
able
police
to do that
chief
with a group of cops surrounding him.
No, I understand that, Mark, but that's not my point. My point is that people out there believe that a man with a badge and a gun and a uniform is somehow, they're better, is somehow morally superior to them. It's a false belief. These are men, just like any other person, and there are some very flawed people who wear uniforms and badges, and you do not want to trust them with your kids just because they have a badge and some sort of air of authority about them. So again, if you're worried about strangers, worry about those guys too. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, but most people are good folks, and that's why Halloween works every year, year after year, for 99.99% of pretty much everybody who's ever done it. Hour number 2 is on the way. You can take control of the airwaves. Free Talk Live.
Kiyosaki, Rogers, and Schiff all concur there's an economic calamity that'll be facing this country. My question to you is, do you know when, and are you prepared? Most people don't, but my friends over at Republic Monetary Exchange have been leading experts in precious metals to help you offset the coming economic collapse. Right now, for a limited time, they have a free book called The 10 Reasons You Should Own Gold. You simply need to give them a call at 888-772-2929 to get that in your hands. Do not allow the insiders to do what they did to you in 2008, putting your IRAs, 401ks, and savings in jeopardy. You need this book, and you need it now. The 10 Reasons You Should Own Gold. Call 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. There's a reason that the largest investment banking company in the world, JP Morgan, just purchased another 50 million ounces of silver. This free book will explain it. 888-772-2929.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, October 31st, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.79 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,272 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,215. Antiwar.com reports having faced massive military losses since their September 25th vote to declare independence, Iraqi Kurdistan may be losing its substantial historical autonomy as well, according to Iraqi Prime Minister Haider Abadi. While praising Iraq's military victories, Abadi said that from now on, the Kurdistan regional government could have no say over international borders, control of their own airports, and most significantly, no control over oil exports. This effectively downgrades the Kurdistan regional government to little more than a provincial government that controls a couple of provinces. Abadi says that he would not accept just a symbolic presence at borders and airports, but rather that Iraq's central government must have exclusive control. The Kurdistan regional government has anticipated conflict with Iraq over its independence bid, but appeared to overestimate the ability of the Peshmerga to defend Kurdish soil from the Iraqi military. Apart from a few towns, Kurdish territory has largely fallen without a fight. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports international alcohol producing and marketing company Constellation Brands acquired a minority stake in Canadian medical cannabis provider Canopy Growth Corporations, according to the companies on Monday. Constellation, which owns Corona Beer, will pay $191 million for a 9.9% ownership interest in Canopy Growth Corporation, in addition to warrants giving Constellation Brands the option to purchase additional ownership interest in the future. Constellation, based in Victor, New York, said they have no plans to sell cannabis products in the United States or other markets until it is legally permissible to do so at all government levels. Parts of the deal include plans for Constellation and Canopy to collaborate on cannabis-based beverages to be sold in places where such products are legal at the federal level. Canopy CEO Bruce Linton said there's no need to include alcohol, nor is there an intent to include alcohol in how we follow through with things. Whether you're looking for precious metals or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal judge in Washington on Monday blocked President Donald Trump from banning transgender people from serving in the U.S. military, handing a victory to transgender service members who accused the president of violating their constitutional rights. Trump announced in July he would ban transgender people from the military in a move that would reverse Democratic former President Barack Obama's policy of accepting them and halt years of efforts to eliminate barriers to military service based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Transgender service members sued in in August to try to block the ban, which had not yet gone into effect, and U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Connolly granted them injunction halting enforcement of it until their case is resolved. The service members asserted that Trump's policies violated their rights to due process and equal protection under the law under the U.S. Constitution. The judge said the plaintiffs were likely to succeed in their claim that the ban was unconstitutional because the administration's reasons for it do not appear to be supported by any facts. After his policy announcement on Twitter, Trump signed a memorandum in August that directed the military not to accept transgender individuals as recruits and halted the use of government funds for sex reassignment surgeries for active duty personnel unless the procedure was already underway. The memo called on Defense Secretary James Mattis to submit a plan to Trump by February 21st on how to implement the changes, and the Pentagon has created a panel of senior officials for that purpose. In the meantime, the current policy of allowing transgender individuals to serve remains in force. Mattis, in June, already had delayed allowing transgender recruits to join the U.S. Armed Forces on July 1st as previously scheduled. The judge tossed out the suit's challenge to the sex reassignment surgery directive, saying none of the plaintiffs had shown they would be impacted by that prohibition. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Hundreds of exasperated Americans confirmed Thursday that, for fuck's sake, the article they just clicked on is actually a stupid video.
I clicked on the story thinking I'd be in and out of there in 30 seconds, but then that little buffering thing popped up and I was like, here we go.
Quickly hitting the mute button after being disoriented by a loud blast of noise from some stupid ad for Hotels.com. Many of the deceived then scanned the webpage for some corresponding write-up so that they could simply read in peace, but reports indicated that would just be too convenient, wouldn't it?
Look, I don't want to watch a report or interview or panel discussion or whatever the hell this is. I just want to skim an article real quick and move on with my day. This is bullshit.
After seriously considering hitting the back button on their browsers, sources say the majority of readers decided to just let the video play out.
You know what? I'll watch the thing, and I'll probably watch the next video that automatically loads afterwards.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything that you want. We're talking about Halloween ridiculousness here with the ongoing overprotection of children, these ridiculous trunk or treat events designed to make people think that Halloween is somehow this dangerous event and that there needs to be constant parental supervision and even police supervision in order to make sure that your kids don't get snatched up by some sort of evil kidnapper or poisoned or having their apple, an apple putting razor blades in apples and pins in candy or whatever. The other fear is now that there's going to be drugs, which, of course, that's been going on for years. But now that cannabis is available legally in several states that it wasn't previously, the fear-mongering has ramped up on the idea that look out for marijuana-laced candies. So we can get into some of that. I know, Mark, you had a story about that. But also, you'd pulled up the list or the top 10 list of the Halloween costumes. And Johnson, you even found a detailed top site which shows more than the top 10 costumes, and it's by Google results. So it's
the Frightgeist. Because I don't know if you're aware, Google every year does a Zeitgeist thing at the end of the year, which is like the top searches.
No, I had no idea.
Oh yeah, every year they do this trends of searches for the year, and it's very, very interesting information. And this is the Frightgeist, which is a version of that showing how costumes have been searched for in extreme detail. I mean, it's the searches from around the country. They've got, millions of searches.
Lots of data, which probably would be more useful than, Mark, I'm going to guess that your top 10 list came from the National Retailers Association. Do you happen to know what the source
This one is, WTOP, and this is for most searched.
Most searched. So the same thing, basically. So are they using Google data?
I didn't pour over. Is this
see if we can find that out here.
By Fortune magazine.
All right, let's go to Tom. He's in Nashua, New Hampshire. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Tom. Hello, Tom in New Hampshire. Going once. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's about talking to a cemetery manager today. It seems people, sometimes they get a cemetery plot and it's for like the whole family, so that as people die off, they'll have a cemetery plot to put the whole family members into it. It's been a lot less common nowadays than it was long ago, but there are some of these plots where, like, the family moves away, and they might leave a couple of spots behind and forget about them. And then, like 100 years later, and there's no way, the family still owns that whole plot. So they have the right to bury family members in that plot, except that they don't live there and they forgot all about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like abandoned property or, property that, you get the unaccounted for property. Well, people they can check their family tree and find out if they have any such thing and either sell it or get buried there themselves. Or
how would you check
whatever.
your family tree to find out if you have that? Would you call the cemetery in which the dead family members are and ask them, hey, got any extra plots that my grandpa paid for that never got used?
You call them up and find out. It's kind of funny when you call a cemetery and ask if so-and-so is there because you're not asking to speak to them. It's rather unique. But yeah, people need to check that. Unclaimed money, that's the other thing I was thinking about. It's kind of like unclaimed money where people, they just plain forgot
I don't know.
about
I mean, it just seems like I got better things to do than try to research every dead family member and find out which graveyard they're buried in.
Once you find out how much grave sites cost, then you're going to start thinking this is a good idea.
It seems like you'd want to get cremated rather than buried somewhere.
Once you decide you want to be buried,
I see.
And then you start researching because you see somebody who's going to get cremated isn't going to be doing that.
Right. Then you have the incentive. If it's really important to you to put your body in the ground, in a plot of ground somewhere nearby some other bodies, that have some sort of distant relation to you,
and not be shamed by Ian for your choices.
So anyway, did you hear that Enza the witch got her got her flu vaccine today?
Who's
they
that?
They wondered how she got into Enza the witch.
Okay.
Somebody they wondered how did she get into the clinic? Well, somebody opened the window and in flew Enza.
There you go. Thanks, Tom. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. I'm not shaming anybody, Mark. If that's what's important to you, then that's what's important to you. It's your body. You should be able to do what you want with it once it's, dead.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
It doesn't make any sense, like why you would want to take up so much space. Graveyards seem to be so unnecessary to me.
Haven't taken any time to look at the environmental destruction that goes on through cremation either.
What's that?
Well, there's all kinds of,
the fact that there's like ash from it?
You look it up.
You know that fires happen naturally all the time, right?
Yeah, but people don't burst in flames when they're dead.
If people are in a forest when it's on fire, they're probably going to burn up too.
Yeah, the best thing to do is they've got new coffins made of, they get this thing they'll wrap you in that's full of fungus and it'll eat you right up.
Really?
That's good. They'll put you in a coffin that has like seeds in it and a tree will grow up out of where you are. I don't think that's really necessarily the best, but, or you can, I think the best is just to put you in a pine box and plant a tree on top.
All right, then.
Like a good-sized
you don't
tree.
Want chemical dissolution?
Yeah, that's another one. They turn you into sludge.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in a vat of chemicals?
Yeah.
Like in Breaking Bad,
That's a thing?
That's a thing. It's a good thing.
Do they do something with the sludge afterwards, or is it just all completely...
Drink it mostly.
You're lying.
It's the whole family sits around.
Wait, but hold on.
A final toast.
Is all of that lies, or are people actually doing chemical dissolution of their body?
Yes, they are chemical dissolution of the bodies.
They just put the body in a strong base,
like
base versus acid. And
right.
It just breaks the body down into liquid and I guess pour it down a drain somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Really? Drain, basically.
Because I mean, with the cremation, you get the ashes, and you can do whatever you want with the ashes, right? Yep. Spread them at sea, or put them in the favorite place of the person, or keep them in an urn, that kind of thing. So there's nothing left after the chemical dissolution. It's just waste, and they get rid of it.
Just waste, and they get rid of it. Yeah.
Huh.
I have a strange wish for my final remains to be.
You want to be fed to pigs?
Nope.
No.
Fed to fish.
Really?
But the way I want this to happen is I want my body, the full body, to be strapped to an enormous firework, right? And shot out over the ocean, right?
Yeah.
With a fireworks show, but an enormous one that will literally go out of the ocean and blow me to pieces.
So you're going to call Kim Jong-un?
Oh, really? Would I need to do that? I don't
Well, I mean, he can provide that, right? He's always shooting off rockets into the ocean, isn't he?
Yes. I don't know if it would necessarily need to be like a Patriot missile, but you know.
That would be a big way to do it, though. I mean,
sure.
If you're going to go out with a bang.
What are your plans, Ian?
I don't have any plans. I don't really care. Just cremate me or whatever. Whatever's most efficient.
Target practice for the Navy. Just have a slingshot and say, pull! And then have them train some sort of automatic high-speed rail gun to see if they can hit the target midair.
Toll-free number tonight, if you want to join us on the radio, our number here is 855-450, free like freedom. So let's get into the top 10s. Let's compare, see if you guys both have the same, because I'm not sure. Mark, you're saying yours came from Forbes, but Forbes may have gotten their data from Google. Johnson, because they're claiming, Mark, your article says it got it from search results, and Johnson, yours is coming straight from Google, so it definitely came from search results.
Well, I passed it over you. I actually don't even have it open anymore. I can fire it open again.
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah. So
Mark,
number 10 costume.
Are we breaking down male, female, or overall?
This is just overall.
Okay.
Number 10, top 10 national costumes, and DC's top 5 apparently from WTOP. Number 10, a dinosaur. Number 9. Yeah, and so this is, from a religious standpoint, that's how we got on this topic. I'd say dinosaurs aren't particularly confronting to the religious, right? Like, you get away with that. There are some people believe that, some religious folks believe that dinosaurs existed alongside early man, specifically Adam and Eve or whatever. There are others that just find dinosaurs uncomfortable because they can't really figure out where they fit in the timeline. But all in all, I'd say dinosaurs not confronting to religious people, right?
Okay.
Number 9, zombies.
All right, so you said number 10 was dinosaur?
Yeah.
According to the postathens.com, top 10 costumes you'll see at the Halloween block party. Number 10 was a character from Game of Thrones. More on the way here. 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we'll see what the Google data says here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
Called it elephant skin. It was rough, wrinkly, like a Brillo pad.
His hair was falling out in clumps.
Petey stopped eating and all his hair fell out.
Our golden retriever, Sundance, he scratched incessantly. There was hair all over.
DINOVITE.com.
859-428-1000.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Within 2 weeks, the shedding slowed down to almost none. The scratching went away after a few days, and Sundance's coat was starting to get shiny and glossy.
It's a 180 turnaround. His skin has cleared up. He's not in pain.
If your dog has shedding, dry skin, excessive scratching, do the Dinovite.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is digital cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy. Fees are low and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at dash.org.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the
problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm. Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. We invite you to join us on the radio waves and bring up anything that you want. We're talking about Halloween because, well, it's Halloween, and we're here in the studio with you. Of course, you can bring up anything at all. 855-450, free like freedom. That's our number. That's 855-450-3733. It's, of course, if you need to get some shopping done, maybe get your costume for next year, you can always go to saveitpurse.com, and you can load up whatever you need from your Amazon wish list and then decide what discount you want. If you're not in a hurry, and if you're looking for Halloween costumes, you shouldn't be in a hurry at this point. You can try for 33% off of the regular price because SaveItPurse.com allows you to choose your discount. Now, if you're in a hurry and you need something quickly, then you can try for like maybe 15%, and we've seen items go within an hour or two of people shooting for a 15% discount. So it just depends on what the market will bear. It's pretty fascinating, and it works really well. I've been using SaveItPurse.com now for a few years and have saved, I think, like almost $2,000 on over 100 purchases total. So SaveItPurse, SaveATPurse.com. The catch is you have to use cryptocurrency like Bitcoin in order to make your purchases. They will not accept government money. So check it out, SaveAtPurse.com, as we continue here with the list. There's a couple of competing lists. Johnson, you've pulled up the National Retail Foundation for Federation, I think?
Federation, yes.
And they've got their top 10 lists broken down by adults, children, and pets, the different types of Halloween costumes. Mark, you have a list from Google of most searched Halloween costumes, and these are not the same list. So we're going to go down. Mark, you started at number 10. Just a quick recap. What
Dinosaur.
was Dinosaur, and then over on the Retail Foundation, number 10 was, I believe, Wonder Woman?
Yep.
So number 9 on the Google list, Mark.
I got Zombie. Now, that's going to be pretty confronting for the more religious folks, right? Like this is
Back from the Dead?
Yeah, the Back from the Dead sort of thing.
What about a zombie Jesus? Now, that could be offensive.
No, yeah, that's darned offensive.
That's for Easter.
So, what about number 9 over there? Did you want to? Should I share them, or did you?
You should share them. I was
Okay.
looking at another list of Halloween.
So yeah, number 9 is different. So Wonder Woman's number 10 on both children and adults, and I didn't mention Star Wars character is the number 10 pets. Number 9 on the National Retail Foundation, children is Ghost. For adults, it's slasher movie villains, so like Jason or the Scream Killer, those kind of things. And then for pets, number 9 is Witch.
I see. There we go. Number 8, Pirate. Now
That's a long-standing classic.
Yeah. This is a problem for libertarians, where they, the thievery aspect.
Number 8 on the list here, Disney Princess for children. Adults, DC superhero, excluding Batman, Wonder Woman, Star Wars character. I'm not sure why Star Wars is Star Wars DC. Did they do Star Wars comics?
I thought Star Wars was owned by Disney. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Pets, number 8 is cat. So apparently you can dress other pets up as a cat.
Yeah, I guess you can do that, yes.
And people are doing that because it's number 8.
There you go. So I've got,
number 7 in the most searched. And yours is just for overall costumes. It's not just, it's children and adults, I would presume, mixed together because it's just overall searches, right?
Mouse. Why are people dressing up as mice?
I don't know. Well, again, they may not be dressing up as mice, Mark. These are people who are searching.
And also, I'm going to guess that this is like the search there. They're not specifying that like mouse might be Mickey Mouse. It's not coming from, they're not talking about where that's coming from. So, example, they're saying, dinosaur, it might be a particular dinosaur. They're saying clown. And well, one of the most popular costumes this year is
the It clown?
Pennywise from It. Yeah. So and they're just saying clown. It's like, you're not really describing what the actual costume is here.
Right. Number 7 on the children list, according to the National Retail Federation, is pirate/Marvel superhero, excluding Spider-Man.
Why would pirates be the same as a Marvel superhero?
I don't know. Maybe it's tied or thereabouts.
Tied? Okay.
Close enough for to be considered a tie. Again, these are based on actual sales, so that's why this is, I think, a very useful list rather than just people maybe thinking about. Because when you're searching for costumes, you're just thinking about options, right? You haven't really made the decision to buy whatever it is that comes up. Maybe the costumes that you find look cheap, or they look too complicated to make if you're one of the crafty people.
The names that are on the list are going to be on both lists. They're just going to be mixed up a little bit.
Number 7 for adults is zombie, and for pets, it's ghost.
Yep. Number 6, witch.
Number 6 is also witch. For children at the National Retail Federation, for adults, it's vampire, and pets, Batman character. So a Joker dog.
Yeah. Rabbit, number 5.
Rabbit. Okay. Number 5 on children, Star Wars character. For adults, Marvel superhero, including Spider-Man, Captain America, etc. And pets, it's the devil.
There you go. You can imagine that the devil is going to be a real problem for the religious folks.
We're going to get into that. Coming up here, there's the Hell House, the annual Hell House story that we seem to cover almost every year here on Free Talk Live.
Number 4, unicorn.
4 on for children is Spider-Man specifically, so that's why they excluded him earlier.
Spider-Man is the number 1 Marvel superhero.
Is that true?
Yes.
Just by revenue or by just popularity?
Popularity, I couldn't tell you exactly how.
Well,
but
the new Spider-Man
There is a Spider-Man movie.
The new Spider-Man movie features a younger version of a Spider-Man, so it would make sense, I guess, for it to be more popular amongst kids.
Because it was already pretty young with, Tobey Maguire back in
but he's much younger. He's more like,
like 13 or something?
Yeah, like freshman in high school.
Where were we? Number 5. So Marvel superhero devil. Where were we? For number 4. Okay, so for adults, it's pirate at number 4, and pets, bumblebee.
There you go. Dress your pet up as a...
Now, is that bumblebee like the insect. Or is it bumblebee like the Transformer?
That's a good question. They don't clarify.
Number 3, clown.
Number 3 for children, according to the national retailers, is animal. So that includes all animal categories: cat, dog, monkey, etc. Also, animal is number 3 for adults, and for pets, it's dog/lion/pirate. So a 3-way tie for pets at number 3.
Or if you're creative, it's all 3.
Dog dressed up as
dog, lion, pirate.
My dog dressed up as a dog.
Number 2, Mark.
Yep, number 2. Harley Quinn.
That's a character from a movie that was really panned. Did you see it, Mark? Wasn't that movie panned?
Yeah, the Suicide Squad from a couple of years ago.
I didn't see Suicide Squad or Wonder Woman, and I feel like I'm missing out. I need to see those, especially since they seem to be one of the most popular costumes.
I thought the acting in it was great.
Really?
And I liked the first part of the story, but like every DC movie I've ever seen, it goes from pretty good to pretty lousy pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah.
Just lousy in what way? Boring? Or
like the ending, I can't really remember that much about the movie at this point, but I remember being like, ugh.
Not impressed, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was, the trailer for it was awesome. It was great. I really, same thing with Wonder Woman. Liked it. I liked the first third of the movie. The second third was okay. The third
better or worse than the most recent Wolverine?
For me, I thought the most recent Wolverine had good acting in it. It was just that I didn't like the story as they put it together. I didn't like the a few things just.
You're not answering my question.
Was it better or worse?
Yeah.
Okay, I liked it better.
Okay. Well, you said that was number 2, Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn, yeah.
Also, on the National Retail Federation list, number 2 is Batman character / princess. Wait, there's an asterisk there. Okay, asterisk means costumes tied for ranking. Okay. And then also adults, it's Batman character. So including Harley Quinn, but also Batman and Catwoman, etc. And then for pets, it's hot dog. And we'll come back with the number one here in moments. 855, 450 free. Number 1 on the Google search results. Number 1 on the top 10 from the National Retail Federation. And, of course, you can bring up whatever you want here. Bring up whatever's on your mind on Free Talk Live.
Advertising your business with GCN is simple, effective, and more affordable than you might think. Visit advertise.gcnlive.com for more info. Take your business to the next level. That's advertise.gcnlive.com.
ProPure water filters. Most trusted, most tested. Right now, you can save 25% on the ProPure Nomad gravity system. Visit an authorized ProPure dealer for details. That's PROPUR.
Katie Armor has been on a mission to manufacture the most comfortable body armor on the market, and we've succeeded. With the release of our CQB technology, we now offer the most comfortable concealable rifle threat body armor available. Things may look good now, but what if you need added protection? Get your very own concealable rifle threat armor today at katiearmor.com. And for a limited time, get all plates at wholesale pricing only at CATIarmor.com.
The warning signs.
First, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me. About my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want. Our number here is 855-450. Free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about Halloween costumes. The top 10, according to different sources, one of them being Google search results, another one being the National Retail Federation. So the actual results. What do people go out there and buy? Now, of course, this doesn't include people that make their own costumes. So, what are the crafty people out there doing? They're probably coming up with some really unique and fun and creative and outstanding stuff. Or the people who go out and rent costumes, that wouldn't be included necessarily either. Just the people who are buying costumes. But nonetheless, interesting data. And according to the story at NRF.com, we still have to get to the number one costume. But according to the story here, with more people celebrating, Americans will splurge on costumes, candy, and pumpkins for a record $9.1 billion in Halloween spending this year. Now, that's a prediction because this article was written back in September. So I don't know if these numbers that they're giving us are what was bought up until September, or let's see here. It's not real clear. But anyway, $9.1 billion is what they were expecting, according to the annual survey released by the National Retail Federation. The president and CEO, Matthew Shea, said that Americans are planning to spend more than ever as they gear up for Halloween. Retailers are helping customers celebrate in style with a huge selection of costumes, candy, and decorations to cater to ghosts and goblins of all ages. They're expected to spend an average of $86.13 each, the consumers buying these Halloween costumes for themselves and family members, children, etc., with 179 million Americans planning to partake in Halloween festivities, up from 171 million in 2016. So with that, the number one Halloween costume, according, Mark, to the Google results, is what?
Wonder Woman.
Which was the number 10 costume, according to the National Retail Foundation, or Federation.
Correct.
Over on the retailer side, they say the children's top costume is an action superhero. The adult's top costume is witch. And for pets, it's pumpkin.
There you go.
There you go. That is the top numbers from this year. If you want to join us, of course, to bring up anything that's on your mind, please do.
What was the children's top costume?
Children's top costume, action superhero.
So I was just imagining the family going out as the action superhero, witch, and pumpkin all together.
It could happen.
Pumpkin's a good costume.
I got to say, one of the best pets costumes I've ever seen was the spider dog. Have you seen that one, the prank video?
Yep.
Where a dude made a really realistic spider-looking costume for his dog and then sends the dog chasing after people in the streets.
I have a cat that kind of looks like a pumpkin without a costume. So,
People hightail it away from that thing, man. It's a hilarious video. So, of course, you can bring up anything you want. Let's get into the Hell Houses, since we're still doing the Halloween theme here tonight. This from Vice.com. These are things we've covered over the years a number of times on Free Talk Live, and it's just, Mark, you'd asked me this evening, Ian, do you have the Hell House story? And I haven't even looked at anything yet. So I pulled this up. Of course, Vice always has an interesting spin on things. I enjoy a lot of their coverage. This is about those houses that, not even necessarily houses, but they take place on church properties in probably many cases, where you will go in, and I don't think I've ever personally been inside one of these things. I don't know.
I've been to one.
You have been to one?
Yes.
In your childhood years or adult years?
Adult years.
What was it that encouraged you to go?
I had no idea what I was really getting into.
Did someone invite you?
Yeah, I was going to a Halloween event at a church.
Or so you thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
a Halloween event would be fun, and it would be like costumes and fun and things like that.
I have no idea how this occurred, but
maybe you had an evangelical friend, perhaps?
Then girlfriend was invited to a Halloween party at a church.
That should have been warning shot number one there.
Why? We
Red
had
alert.
Halloween parties when I was at church, and it wasn't a problem.
Really? With like real costumes?
Yes.
Huh.
It's like this is only the nuttiest of churches.
This is evangelicals.
Well, whatever. This was just a regular Baptist church there.
Okay.
That I feel like it's really the bait and switch. I thought that
that's exactly what these are.
Yeah, I thought the event was in itself well done. I mean, it was it was well done.
Yeah, church with a big budget's going to have
big budget. It looked nice and that sort of thing. But then here's hell and all the screaming souls and all that stuff. But whatever. Then at the end, there's the altar call. Like somehow or another, I ended up in the sanctuary of the church.
They're going to recruit you.
Okay, I'll let you people do whatever you're going to do. And they do the whole scary, you're going to end up in hell routine.
Right.
And my girlfriend turns back at me and looks at me, and I'm like, I guess I was caught by surprise. I'm not.
What was your girlfriend thinking at the time?
Well, she was clearly thinking that her soul was going to be damned to hell, and that she ought to be.
It worked on her, is what you're saying.
Yes. She turned at me and looked at me like, what do you want to do? They were doing the altar call. I'm like, no. Loud so that everybody heard. And I just couldn't believe this was going on.
So you're one of Satan's children, obviously.
I believe that's what it was and the thing is I only said no, right? Like, so it could be interpreted as, no, you may not go down there with those crazy people, or no, I don't want to go, or no, a whole bunch of things. But I know everybody turned and looked at me, and I was glad.
Okay.
Right. No, you people are nuts. That's what that's how I feel about it. A loving and just God is not going to send his children to burn and for eternity. That's what
I agree.
That's what a psychotic killer God would do.
Right.
I mean,
the kind of God that wants, like a person who tortures ants, basically.
Pagans don't have gods that stack up to a God that's going to send his beloved children to hell for not believing some story that's 2,000 years old and full of contradictions, in which the main character is actually the name of the main character is mistranslated.
So here's a story from Vice.com, written and published yesterday. By Josiah Hess. There were angry Trump supporters shouting to our left and enraged Black Lives Matter protesters on our right. A snide demon slithered from one side to the other, profoundly exclaiming, "Welcome to my world, where anyone different from you is a threat, where evil grows and hatred runs deep. It's one of my oldest and most successful tactics." Unquote. Smiling through the ominous goth makeup, the demon whispered in the ears of each protester, planting racist slurs and stirring up divisions. The verbal combat was punctuated by the sound of an exploding handgun fired by a Trump supporter into the chest of a Black Lives Matter activist who collapsed to the ground dead. "You cannot escape my hate," the demon roared. "Now get out!" It was in the wake of the deafening gun blast.
Is the demon supposed to represent government?
How
it pits everybody against each other?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, but no, I doubt that. At Trinity Church's Hell House 27 No Escape in Dallas, Texas, that I remember just how toxic an evangelical hell house could be. The overarching message of this and the countless other hell houses happening this Halloween is that every ailment plaguing society today, drug addiction, domestic abuse, sex trafficking, gun violence, is evidence that there are demons around us aiming to seduce us into sin, death, and eternal torment in hell.
Yeah, this is pervasive throughout human history and
the belief in demons.
Around the globe, demons, evil spirits, these sorts of things pretty much exist in every culture.
Yeah, and it's just it's fascinating. It allows people to sort of relieve themselves of any kind of responsibility for. It was the demons who told me to do it.
Also, it's sort of I think it's sort of before they discovered mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
What is that exactly?
It's demons, obviously.
Demons, clearly.
The story here continues with the protest scene in particular. It seemed to be saying the racial divisions in our current political climate weren't caused by systematic bias, economic injustice, and mass incarceration. They're the result of trickster sprites stirring up trouble on both sides. Hell houses are one of many theatrical productions that evangelical Christians host to reinforce these ideas. They combine interactive theater and haunted house scare tactics with the goal of impressing on each patron the fact that the forces of good and evil are at war for their soul. We'll continue with Vice on their Hell House experience, which is, by the way, written by somebody who used to actually perform in these hell houses, what they call an ex-evangelical, someone who has left the evangelical church.
That's what I am.
And we'll get his perspective in moments. Have you wanted to get into Bitcoin mining but don't want to deal with the hassle and frustration of operating the mining hardware? Let pool.bitcoin.com handle it for you like I did. Just visit pool.bitcoin.com and use their calculator to estimate what you could end up making. You get to decide which Bitcoin you want to mine. If you already have mining equipment, you're invited to join pool.bitcoin.com. Get all the details and get started mining Bitcoin at pool.bitcoin.com.
Happy the rescue dog. He was missing hair, stinky, scabby, but I have a vet that I trust, and she recommended Dinovite.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite for your dog this week.
We'll send you a bottle of Super Mega Fish Oil free.
Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Free this week at Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Actual testimonials from real Numana customers.
I've tried all kinds of food storage, and Numana is by far the best.
I'm a single mom with 2 teenage boys and a full-time job. I don't always have time to cook a 4-course meal. That's where Numana has been such a blessing. I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time on what matters most, like helping with homework.
Find out for yourself. Order online at thepowermall.com. That's thepowermall.com. Numana is...
Food stores I love to eat. Yum!
Thepowermall.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, inviting you on the radio where you can take control of the airwaves. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Whether you can sleep tonight after you experience some horrific Christian hell house or not, you're going to want to be on the MyPillow. And Mark, you were a very sad Mark over the weekend because
Mark, whose neck was in pain.
Yeah, man. Oh, these hotel pillows, I just don't understand. They're so bad. The MyPillow, on the other hand, designed to fit to the shape of your body and hold your neck in the proper position. We've had ours now for, over a year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
Something like that.
It's been a little while. And it's been great because you can actually wash the MyPillow as well. You can actually put it in your washer and the dryer. It's designed for that. You go to mypillow.com, use code FTL like Free Talk Live. You'll get your MyPillow at half price or 2 for the price of 1. It's however you want to look at it over there. mypillow.com, code FTL, and it's guaranteed for 10 years if you like it. If you don't like it for whatever reason in the first 60 days.
It's not guaranteed for 10 years.
If you don't like it within the first 60 days, you can send it back and get your purchase price refunded to you. So mypillow.com, code FTL like Free Talk Live. Let's go to Tim. He's in Manchester. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Tim.
Hello. I heard you talking about the demons. I got a question. Is it possible for somebody to be possessed?
Is it what? To be somebody? What?
Do you believe somebody could be possessed?
Oh, is it possible? Well, I don't believe in demons, so personally, no. But I suppose you could say that lots of things are possible in the universe. I mean, certainly there are unexplained phenomena that science has yet to explain, but that doesn't necessarily mean that demons are behind it.
Are you looking for a leather?
Well, I believe in it because every time I come home from work, my old lady talks to me like this. She says, "Get out." And then she starts chasing me around the house with a chair.
That's just a bad marriage, dude.
You think so?
Yeah, that's probably a hint.
I was thinking maybe she was possessed or something.
You were thinking what?
Maybe she was possessed or something.
Well, you can look at it that way. And how long has this behavior been going on?
I don't know, but I wake up sometimes, she's standing over me, breathing real heavy, like... It scares the dirt out of me.
And so when you wake up, then what happens? Does she stay there breathing, or do you say something?
I tell her, I say, "What you doing?" She says, "I'm just checking your blood type."
That's funny. Thanks for the call tonight, Tim. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom.
That's the first good crank in a while.
Yeah, 855-450-3733. So let's see. We were discussing what were we getting into there? Oh, yeah, the hell houses. That's right. This is the evangelical Christian churches put these things up all over the country. They've been going on, in this case, Hell House 27, meaning they've been doing this for 27 years in Dallas, Texas at the Trinity Church. The story here from Vice.com. Hell houses combine interactive theater and haunted house scare tactics with the goal of impressing on each patron the fact that the forces of good and evil are at war for their soul. The director of the John C. Danforth Center on Religion and Politics, R. Marie Griffith, says, quote, "Scaring people into salvation has often been part of the Christian tradition. Dante wrote about it in the Inferno, and the Puritans had their own way of scaring Christians with the afterlife. But the immersive medium of a hell house is a somewhat new way of scaring people into virtue, and it is terrifying," she says.
It's a good idea. If you were going to create a religion, you'd want to have that carrot stick aspect to the afterlife, so that people are the people that are motivated by the good stuff that they can get are motivated to be good for that reason. The people that are motivated to avoid the pain of eternal damnation, that's the same thing. I mean, if you're trying to get people to behave, I'm not sure that religion is the greatest idea, but it's probably not. It's probably pretty high up there. You can always sort of universally point to, hey, whispering's lying, lying's a sin. When you get to heaven, they won't let you in.
The concept of hell houses was first popularized by Jerry Falwell in the 1970s, but only seriously took off in the 90s and 2000s when evangelical churches around the country made them an annual staple of their ministry. It was their tackling of social issues like abortion and gay marriage that made them a reliable source of controversy. The Trinity Church Hell House became one of the most notorious when in 1999 they recreated the Columbine school shooting a mere 6 months after it happened, portraying the killers as agents of Satan aiming to slaughter all the Christian students. This led to the church being the subject of the popular 2002 documentary Hell House, which was recently featured in an episode of Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. From the perspective of a Christian who believes the world is governed by supernatural warfare, these hell houses are a kind of public service, akin to car crash footage being used to scare teenagers in driver's ed class. Pastor John Michael Barajas, the director of the Trinity Hell House this year, said, quote, "Something is out to destroy our kids. We want to shed light on what the enemy is trying to do to our children. Whether you believe in God or not, you can't see the suicide rate, the murder rate, and deny there is something after our kids." Unquote.
Okay.
So, again, the suggestion here is that all bad behavior is created by the devil or demons or this something, which he's, again, suggesting it's Satan, is out there doing these things. It's not you. You're not the one who's responsible for your choices.
Because free will, but no free will.
Right. For the first 2 decades of my life, writes the author, I was immersed in this fundamentalist Christian worldview and participated in several hell houses in rural North Iowa where I grew up. During that time, the fear of demons infiltrating my thoughts, attempting to lure me toward eternity, agony, and hell, governed my behavior. So when the time came to impose that worldview on others in my Hell House performances, I was remarkably good at it. Now, Mark, you said you grew up in an evangelical church. Did they also have this demon message that they imparted upon you?
I didn't claim I grew up in an evangelical church. I said I was part of an evangelical church
What's
at one
that mean?
point.
Oh, okay. For a short period of time? Or
Yeah, for a few years.
I see. At what age?
In my late teens, early 20s.
Okay. The single-minded urgency of warning heathens about the demons around them while attempting to comment on controversial issues often leads to narrow-minded portrayals of a complex world. According to Griffith, it's also the simplistic worldview of hell houses that you can find you can find a microcosm of the evangelical political agenda. Quote, with evangelicals, this goes back over a century, and while each historical moment has its own set of hot-button issues, there's a consistency in that the answer to all of the world's problems is more Jesus. Unquote. I attended the Trinity Hell House with a
It's not just Jesus. It's Jesus of the brand that they purport, which differs from denomination.
So there's differing Jesuses.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it differs from preacher to preacher, but certainly denomination to denomination. You know, one denomination, Jesus doesn't want you dancing. In another denomination, he doesn't want you singing. In another denomination, he doesn't want you showing your ankles.
I attended the Trinity Hell House with a handful of former members of the church, along with a few ex-evangelicals from other churches. They left the evangelical world behind for a variety of reasons, which could all be explained as a result of demons whispering in their ears, if you're inclined to believe in such things. Ryan Connell was once a staple of Trinity Church and acted in many hell houses, though by the time he accompanied me to the church, he had not set foot on the property in 13 years. He said, "This is my first time returning to Texas as a non-Christian. I wanted to do this as a personal journey." Today, Connell operates the Former Fundamentalist Facebook page and often writes about the dangers of religious abuse. If you watch the Hell House documentary, you'll see a young Connell performing as a priest in the Church of Satan, preparing to sacrifice a young girl.
As if this thing exists.
Right. Real sacrifices.
The Church of Satan's full of atheists. I'm sorry. They're trolls and atheists.
Right, and nobody's getting sacrificed, especially not human beings. Sacrifice a young girl in the name of Beelzebub. He can still remember his lines from the play. Quote, "I have deceived this girl, first getting her hooked on Harry Potter, Magic the Gathering, and Dungeons and Dragons."
Yeah, and who plays that still?
And how many girls play Dungeons and Dragons? He recited to me in an arrogant, sinister voice peppered with maniacal laughter.
If you are a girl that plays Dungeons and Dragons, you have your pick of the nerds.
Quote, "Now here she is in my coven, wanting more power."
If you've been watching the most recent season of Stranger Things, that might be popular, might be made to be more popular among girls after this season.
Okay.
What, Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, possibly because it's real popular on that show, and then they have brought in a character that's like the cool girl.
Yep, that will do it.
So now, so because it's on a popular TV show and a cool girl's into Dungeons and Dragons.
And Stranger Things is also like, some of the top costumes this year as well, so.
So the final quote here, "Now here she is in my coven, wanting more power, and I will sacrifice her to the devil." Unquote. Back in those days, Connell believed the world was coming to an end. All the sinners were bound for eternal torment in hell, and he could be one of them if he so much as thought about sex. Connell told me he once made the mistake of confessing to a Trinity pastor that he was struggling with the impulse to masturbate. The pastor replied disgustedly, quote, "I can't believe I let you around my children," unquote. The toll-free number here,
got to be kidding
855 450 free. More about the Hell House is coming up. We'll take a tour through this Trinity Hell House in moments.
How did you become addicted? A friend? Were you at a party and someone said, "Hey, try this"? Then you got the cold sweats and started shaking. And the more you did it, the more it didn't work. So you switched to the needle. Now you're a train wreck. Drinking, drugging, broke. Your family hates you, and you hate you. Get out of your hell on earth now. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline today for immediate help. In many cases, your insurance may cover the costs. We can't guarantee it, but we can guarantee we have what you need to change your life for the better. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. That's 855-700-2979.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, October 31st, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.79 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,272 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,215. Antiwar.com reports having faced massive military losses since their September 25th vote to declare independence. Iraqi Kurdistan may be losing its substantial historical autonomy as well, according to Iraqi Prime Minister Haider Abadi. While praising Iraq's military victories, Abadi said that from now on, the Kurdistan regional government could have no say over international borders, control of their own airports, and most significantly, no control over oil exports. This effectively downgrades the Kurdistan regional government to little more than a provincial government that controls a couple of provinces. Abadi says that he would not accept just a symbolic presence at borders and airports, but rather that Iraq's central government must have exclusive control. The Kurdistan regional government has anticipated conflict with Iraq over its independence bid, but appeared to overestimate the ability of the Peshmerga to defend Kurdish soil from the Iraqi military. Apart from a few towns, Kurdish territory has largely fallen without a fight. For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports international alcohol producing and marketing company Constellation Brands acquired a minority stake in Canadian medical cannabis provider Canopy Growth Corporations, according to the companies on Monday. Constellation, which owns Corona Beer, will pay $191 million for a 9.9% ownership interest in Canopy Growth Corporation, in addition to warrants giving Constellation Brands the option to purchase additional ownership interest in the future. Constellation, based in Victor, New York, said they have no plans license to sell cannabis products in the United States or other markets until it is legally permissible to do so at all government levels. Parts of the deal include plans for Constellation and Canopy to collaborate on cannabis-based beverages to be sold in places where such products are legal at the federal level. Canopy CEO Bruce Linton said there's no need to include alcohol, nor is there an intent to include alcohol in how we follow through with things. Whether you're looking for precious metals or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal judge in Washington on Monday blocked President Donald Trump from banning transgender people from serving in the U.S. military, handing a victory to transgender service members who accused the president of violating their constitutional rights. Trump announced in July he would ban transgender people from the military in a move that would reverse Democratic former President Barack Obama's policy of accepting them and halt years of efforts to eliminate barriers to military service based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Transgender service members sued in August to try to block the ban, which had not yet gone into effect, and U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Connolly granted them injunction halting enforcement of it until their case is resolved. The service members asserted that Trump's policies violated their rights to due process and equal protection under the law under the U.S. Constitution. The judge said the plaintiffs were likely to succeed in their claim that the ban was unconstitutional because the administration's reasons for it do not appear to be supported by any facts. After his policy announcement on Twitter, Trump signed a memorandum in August that directed the military not to accept transgender individuals as recruits and halted the use of government funds for sex reassignment surgeries for active duty personnel unless the procedure was already underway. The memo called on Defense Secretary James Mattis to submit a plan to Trump by February 21st on how to implement the changes, and the Pentagon has created a panel of senior officials for that purpose. In the meantime, the current policy of allowing transgender individuals to serve remains in force. Mattis, in June, already had delayed allowing transgender recruits to join the U.S. Armed Forces on July 1st as previously scheduled. The judge tossed out the suit's challenge to the sex reassignment surgery directive, saying none of the plaintiffs had shown they would be impacted by that prohibition. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Like many young inner-city students, Chicago area high school sophomore Brandy Perkins struggles every day to motivate her teachers. The frustrated 16-year-old talked to Onion reporters this morning to discuss the challenges she faces in reaching out to her underperforming educators.
Connecting with the teachers gets harder and harder every year. We all come in every morning eager to learn, but most of the teachers just seem completely uninterested in education. One of my teachers, Miss Manley, has been particularly hard to work with. She was quiet at first, but she showed some potential. I thought maybe she just needed a little time to come out of her shell, but as the weeks went by, she just sat there listlessly at her desk, never talking or participating. It just makes you feel so helpless.
For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free. Bring up whatever you want. Our number here is 855-450 free like freedom. 855-450-3733 as we launch into the third hour of the show with you tonight. It's Ian
and Johnson
and Mark.
And of course, you can bring up anything you want. The theme tonight has been Halloween, given that it is Halloween, and you don't have to talk about Halloween, but right now we're in the midst of a story by a former evangelical, as they call him, an ex-evangelical, over at Vice.com about the Hell House phenomenon that has been going on for decades. Apparently it started as early as the 1970s, involving Jerry Falwell at one point, and now they're everywhere, with evangelical churches trying to lure people in with the promise of scares and sort of a haunted house, but it's actually a not-so-thinly veiled message to recruit into their churches. Let's go to EJ calling us from Clarksburg, West Virginia, listening online via TuneIn. Go ahead, EJ. You're on Free Talk Live.
Ian, thanks for taking my call this
Yes, sir.
evening.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
I'm going to go ahead and join in on the Hell House conversation here.
Yeah.
I'm a full transparency. I am an evangelical Christian,
Okay.
so I am going to kind of stick up for my team a little bit tonight. But I'm with you as far as like just kind of just the idea that hell houses. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't agree with them. I don't think that they are effective means of communicating the gospel. But
you don't think you can scare Jesus into people? I mean, isn't that sort of the traditional hell, or not hell house, but the sort of the traditional Christian evangelical method is, hey, you're going to hell if you keep up that behavior.
That is a Western tradition.
Really?
I will absolutely concede that is a very Western tradition.
But you describe yourself as an evangelical, so you are at odds with the tradition of the Western evangelical churches?
Correct.
Okay, go on.
At least that one. The idea of using fear to coerce people into believing something with the intent of either just padding your numbers in your churches or controlling people. I don't do that. I'm against that. I work in youth ministry, and we have these conversations all the time because I have been, just by virtue of being in youth ministry, I've been accused of indoctrinating and brainwashing. I debate with atheists a lot on the internet just for fun. I don't have any like hate or animosity towards people who don't believe the same way I do, but that unfortunately is not always.
But yeah, you do believe they are going to burn in an eternal fiery torment.
Yes, I will give you that. Yes, I do believe that anybody who does not admit that they are sinners, which listen, that's scripture.
Well, that's your scripture. But go on. So you say anybody that doesn't admit they're sinners, and also don't the Christians require them to accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior?
Correct.
Okay.
John 14:6 says, "I am the way." Jesus himself said this is not something that Christians just made up. Jesus himself said this in John 14:6. He says, "I am the way, the truth, the life, and no man comes to the Father but by me." He's very, very clear and very open about that.
I was there too.
Did Jesus go around threatening people about hell? I don't think he did he?
He didn't mention it
He
much.
did not overtly go around threatening hell. He did spend some time on the topic. He talked about wailing and gnashing of teeth and all that fun stuff. But his message,
bring a sword. Them tax collectors.
Yeah, and exactly, and his message, ultimately, his message was a message of repentance. His message was a message of, my Father, the Heavenly Father God, will accept you, will forgive you. Come to me, all you who are weary, and all you are heavy laden, come to me.
So
and
if
I
you
will give
commit
rest.
murder, if you commit some of the cardinal sins, you can just ask for forgiveness, and then it's all wiped away.
I understand that from an outsider's point of view, it can seem ludicrous, but yes.
But somebody who doesn't.
This is really common throughout humans, right? Like humans are all about this. Once you change your mind, you're on our team. So this is true for libertarians. Like you can be a heck of a statist, and then once you realize that the taxation is theft, then wham!
I
you're on our
believe in
team.
forgiveness, and I practice forgiveness.
Now it's okay.
But we're not talking about a forgiving God here. We're talking about one with a very stringent set of rules that says you have to go through this exact path, or else you're going to burn for all in fiery torment. So somebody who commits all kinds of atrocities, then asks for forgiveness per the Jesus claims, is completely forgiven. But somebody who lives a decent life and who doesn't commit horrific things, but yet maybe has their own version of God that they believe in, that person is going to go to hell. Because God loves you.
And like I said, listen, I know how it sounds. Trust me, I've wrestled with these questions myself a lot.
That's like saying that the father who beats his child within an inch of his life because he is a loving father because he loves him while he's beating him.
Yes, but no. Actually, really no, because you see, here's the problem with that analogy: is a father who constantly beats his child. That's all he sees that child as, is something to beat. However, God sees the people that he creates as people who can be redeemed to himself. God sees people that he creates.
But only if they redeem themselves in the way that these specific people who read this specific book say that they need to redeem themselves. Any other attempt at redemption is ignored, and they go to hell.
Yeah, this is one of the real the difficulties that I have. And I'll give you. Go ahead.
We cannot. The thing is, no, we can't redeem ourselves. That's what sin is. Sin is something that separates us from God. He is pure and holy and just.
How can he be pure, holy, and just if he created sin?
He did not create sin.
Hold on.
I thought wait a minute.
He is all in all. That's a quote out of the Bible.
Who created sin?
Everything, and nothing would exist that he didn't create.
Correct. However, right. He is not the author of sin in the sense that sin entered the world through one man. Scripture says that. Sin entered the world through one man.
Created the man.
That man was created by God. Sin entered that man through Satan, who was created by God.
Right. This is all a sick game, then, is what you're saying, because God created all of it.
I want to know, this is a post that I made on Facebook yesterday, and the post that I made had the title, God's Plan, about a boy whose life was so horrible, he was 12 years old, decided to jump off of an overpass to kill himself. The boy lived, but he killed the 22-year-old college student driver. She died. God. So was that God's plan? I mean, what part of it was God's plan?
The boy's
going to live with that horror, and now does the boy get to be absolved of his sin, or because he attempted suicide, does he burn in hell?
This stuff bounces off of believers, even me. Okay, so you have to believe that this world is the supreme area and matters for your little analogy to matter. I mean, the fact is that if you're a spiritual being having an earthly experience, then so what? You know, the lady's going to come back, or she's going to go to heaven, or, you know, whatever's going to happen. You're acting like this is a terrible thing, but from the standpoint of somebody who believes in an eternal spiritual being, like I do, then, you know, this blip in time that you're discussing, this 22 years or 24 years that's ended short, is really nothing. I mean, you don't mourn. You don't mourn for movie characters when they're shot and killed, right?
Depends on the movie.
Yeah, and this is where I am.
Devastating.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, EJ.
I'm sorry. This is where I am on this. You know, this world sucks. There's sin in this world. This world is not our home. We do not live in heaven yet. Heaven is later. Heaven is after all those who belong to Jesus, who belong to God through the redemption of Jesus, are redeemed to himself when he comes back.
Yeshua ben Yosef. Get the name right.
Yes,
I'm sorry that your book has a huge mistranslation in it.
Well, that's the English pronunciation.
No, it's not. It's Greek.
Hey, EJ, if you want to keep going, I appreciate the fact that you called in tonight. If you want to stick with us, you're welcome to, because, you know, an evangelical calling in to take on an atheist and two, you know, former Christians who are now ministers in an interfaith peace ministry church called Shire Free Church on the question of hell houses, religion, which, by the way, he said he's against the hell house tactic. But still, he is an evangelical, which means we've got interesting questions that we can talk about. It's Free Talk Live.
Message and data rates may apply. Oh my gosh, that's Frank Thomas. No. Yes, that's him. Go ahead. Excuse me, are you Frank Thomas?
Yes, I am.
I bet you get recognized a lot.
I was a pretty good ball player.
You were?
Some people thought so.
Sorry, we recognize you from those Nugenics commercials.
Oh, yeah? That's great.
So does Nugenics really work?
Oh, yeah. I really can feel the difference. My workouts are better, and I feel a lot more energetic.
I wish my husband would use Nugenics.
It's so easy to get started. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Text the word radio77 to 42424 for a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And you're going to like the difference, too.
Text Radio 77 to 42424 for a complimentary bottle of Nugenix. Samples are not available in stores. Text RADIO 77 to 42424.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are 2 Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
When commercials come on, don't push the button. Instead, listen. Even if you don't sell things for a living, you're still selling in the various conversations and transactions that make up your busy day. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important, especially if you're a job seeker. So take a lesson from Madison Avenue. Often the fewer words, the more effective the message. Like Jiffy Lube, where you never need an appointment, or the Office Max ad that says, you supply the ambition, we supply everything else. How about online ticket broker StubHub.com, the way in when it's sold out, or CyberCupidMatch.com's seductive, go ahead, it's okay to look. How cleverly and succinctly can you distill your message? For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can dial in toll-free to bring up whatever you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. With you tonight, you've got Ian.
And Johnson.
And Mark.
All right, we're going to continue with your calls and thoughts, but I do want to let you know about Dash. It is digital cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast, it can be private and easy, fees are low, and transactions are quick and can be confirmed instantly. Sent some Dash over the weekend, actually, because Bitcoin fees are out of control. We paid our driver, actually, who's a good friend who was driving us around in Austin, and paid her with some Dash at the end. I paid with Bitcoin at the beginning of the weekend, and then paid in Dash at the end of the weekend for some of the rides. And the Dash fee was like less than a penny, and the Bitcoin fee was $2 or something like that. Just today, I paid a $2.57 fee to buy a $7 meal with Bitcoin. And that's because I have not yet set that merchant up with Dash, but I'm getting motivated to get out there and get Dash into these merchants' hands. And
Indeed.
Thankfully, Thankfully, as of within the last couple of weeks, there is now a merchant platform called AnyPay.global that does support Dash. So we're getting there. We're going to be rolling that out hopefully here soon in the Keene, New Hampshire area, as it has already been rolled out over in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, thanks to the folks over at the Free State Bitcoin Shop. But anyway, check out Dash because it makes it easy for you to pay people, and it's affordable. Dash is decentralized and run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Anyone can invest in Dash and earn rewards for helping run the Dash network. So join Dash and help create a better financial system for everyone. Take back control over your financial future today. Find out more at Dash.org. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash right now, so go to Dash.org to find out why. We've got EJ on the line with us in Clarksburg, West Virginia. He's been so, I think, kind to call in tonight with his perspective to go up against literally a room full of people who are not a fan, let's just say, of the evangelical Christian kind of perspective in general on the world, which of course says that this God that is purportedly a loving God, because that's one of the claims,
fair and just, too,
will also go ahead and subject his creations or its creations to eternal, fiery, flaming, horrific, pain-inducing, ongoing torment, and at the same time claim that that's love. So, EJ, you got a lot to answer for here, and you've been a good sport. Please continue
and
with
you're
your
going to heaven.
Continue with your thoughts. EJ?
One thing I do, can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
good. One thing I do want to point out real quick is that the fiery, description of hell, I think I lean in the direction of that being what it's like, but the jury is actually kind of still out on exactly what hell is like. Some people aren't quite clear. It's bad. I have absolutely no. I have no inclinations whatsoever. I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that it's bad.
But you said you don't agree with the hell house and this sort of punishing people, or the threat of punishment being your way to recruit people. So how do you, as an evangelical, break from the traditional mold and try to bring people into your religion? Because as an evangelical, you are obligated to, right? Like, that's why you're calling tonight, is to put your message out there. So what is it that is your tactic? You said you're a youth minister. How do you go about this in a way that is different from the traditional evangelical, if you don't join us, you're going to burn message?
Well, the first thing I try to do is I try to engage people in a conversation. Do you have questions? Ask me those questions. Let's talk about it. Let me just find what it says in Scripture. Let me try and keep my opinion out of it as best as humanly possible.
Instead, you'll use the opinion of the people who wrote the Scriptures.
Yes, and of course, I am one of those people who believes that the Scripture was divinely inspired through the power of the Holy Spirit.
Can I ask this? I'm trying not to beat you up too badly. I really am. But I
can take it.
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Who's that?
Mark, you do.
I don't think I do as much as I used to.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
So we know that the books of the Bible were decided upon by a committee. I don't know if it was the Council of Nicaea. Seems like it was one after that. Secretariat. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway,
the primary council was the Council of Nicaea in 300 AD. Yes.
Okay, great. Council of Nicaea comes up with the New Testament, the Old Testament. Decides these books are going to stay, these books are going to go. Those heretics down there in Egypt, they can't be around. The Nestorian Christians, nope, sorry, heretics. All these people. Jesus is divine. He's not a prophet. They make these decisions. They put together this book. Were they also? I mean, was the committee divinely inspired? And did God throw the vote? Why wasn't it 100% one way? I mean, if God's in the room, you think he'd been able to convince those other people to vote, along the same line, like this is the book.
In moments like that, I can't say with any specific surety as to why it was not a 100% vote as to what it was. It had to be a majority vote. But in moments like that, that's what faith is for, But also, it's kind of one of those things where
the faith. Hold on, just when you say that, you mean the faith that the one interpretation of the one book that you believe in, that you have faith that that's the correct interpretation.
Yes, and
that's
here's
a lot
why,
of faith.
It is. I understand. Trust me, I get this a lot. But here's the thing. I believe in a God who is sovereign. I believe in a God who has said that his word will not return void. So I believe in a God who is going to orchestrate things when it comes to his word so that his word will persevere.
Did you grow up in an evangelical family?
Not really. I grew up in a family of people who went to church but didn't really commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until I wasn't until about a year after I graduated high school that it became something that I really wanted to study and learn and really be involved in.
So is fairness and justice are human terms, but they were given to us divinely, right?
Fairness and justice given to us divinely. Right. I would say the concepts were given to us divinely.
Well, yeah,
I would say it was given. I would say that we were charged with the responsibility of figuring out what these things mean and how they are defined.
Discerning what fairness and justice are. But God created fairness. God created justice, right?
Correct.
So, and God was responsible for the creation of the Bible from, the very early etchings on stone all the way through the vote at the Council of Nicaea, and frankly, through, making sure that the word was copied into different languages throughout every step of the way. God's responsible for the Bible, right?
That is my position on that, yes.
Great. So whether or not you believe this position, if I stumble upon the fact that Jesus' name is Yeshua ben Yosef, and there's a mistranslation of the main character's name in this book, and that in and of itself is enough to keep me from believing the book, would a fair and just God damn me to hell because the book that he's responsible for and the concepts of fairness that he's responsible for lead me to a conclusion that the book is flawed?
Well, let me do what he did and answer your question with a question. If I say Jesus and you say Yeshua ben Joseph, if I say Jesus, do you know who I'm talking about?
Sure, I know who you're talking about.
EJ, thanks for the call tonight, man. I appreciate it. There's more coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
In an emergency, you need a fire now. But what if the wood is wet? No problem for InstaFire. Our non-toxic fire starter packs lights wet wood, floats, and can even burn on water or in any weather. Sustains winds up to 30 miles per hour, and each pouch weighs only 1.75 ounces. Need an emergency or camp stove? Get the InstaFire Inferno stove that boils 20 ounces of water in under 3 minutes with controllable heat and temps from 425 to 1500 degrees. Free shipping. Go to instafire.com and use discount code RADIO30 up to 3 times for 30% off your order. InstaFire. Fire in an instant.
We all have heard about the benefits of fish oils, but what about the presence of heavy metals, PCBs, dioxins, furans, and other contaminants found in fatty tissues of fish? GCNteam.com recognizes this risk and offers IFOS certified tested omega-3 fatty acids. EPA, DHA insist on IFOS omega-3 fatty acid certification. Get the best at GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203.
Free Talk Live, the show where anyone can call about whatever they want. And we do mean anyone.
So are you saying that if government ran a dating service,
yes,
that society's problems would be solved?
Yes, actually they would. I know it's hard to believe, but it would.
Yeah, that's real hard to believe. I mean, there are dating services all over the place. Why would a government-run dating service be better?
No, they don't work. They're not Christian. They charge a lot of money.
What makes you think a government-run dating service would be better or Christian?
Yes, it would, because everybody would be in the same computer. Today it would be run by a computer. Everybody's knowledge of their existence and location would be in one place.
Let's say I disagree. What happens to me?
What happens if you disagree? Well, you can disagree, but does that mean you're not going to cooperate with us?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. Maybe I'd come over there and beat the hell out of you.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial on in. Bring up whatever you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE. More on Hell Houses coming up here. Ian Johnson and Mark in the studio.
But before that, we're going to talk about Whole Food Multi-Complete. If you take a multivitamin, I want you to consider, where are you getting this multivitamin? How much money are you putting into this thing? If you're getting a synthetic multivitamin, you're getting what you paid for. It's multivitamin, it's got minerals, but you could have Whole Food Multi-Complete, which is a food-based supplement that has not just vitamins and minerals, but things like antioxidants, probiotics, enzymes, and other nutrients that your body needs that you're currently not getting. For years now, Whole Food Multi-Complete has quietly been providing what the big guys won't. The perfect blend of supplements in a single product. And they've taken the expense and complexity out of following a complete supplement program. You can visit simplifymysupplements.com to learn more. I took this and in the first month or so, I lost about almost 15 pounds, and I didn't even know why. Well, it was the balancing of my gut with the probiotics. You enter coupon code FTL at simplifymysupplements.com. You'll save 10% on your order, every time. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Yes, they take Bitcoin. Simplifymysupplements.com, coupon code FTL.
All right, toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Let's continue with your calls and thoughts. John is in Nashua, New Hampshire. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian Johnson and Mark.
Hello, do you all believe in shape-shifting?
Shape-shifting? No, tell me more about that.
Yeah, the Bible talks about them demons doing shape-shifting, and sometimes I go to bed next to my wife, and I go bed next to Shamu, and I dream about Pamela Anderson. I wake up as the same thing.
You think you wake up as, a Shamu or what?
No, I go bed next to my wife. She's a big girl like Shamu, and I dream about Pamela Anderson, and when I wake up, she's still Shamu. I was just wondering if there's an upside to this whole position
that you
thing.
could wake up. You're hoping that you could wake up and she would be Pamela Anderson.
It's my understanding that succubi...
I was thinking there might be an upside to this devil position thing.
Female demons actually, they may be very attractive, but unfortunately they take your soul.
Oh, no, that ain't good.
No.
Yep,
that ain't good.
Watch out for the
I'm going to
succubus.
have to...
Thanks,
I
John.
might have to do something.
Yeah,
I might have to do
you got to
something.
do what you got to do with Shamu there. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. I think that was the same guy who called earlier.
I think
but
so, too.
He's been pretty good so far, so I'm going to let him get away with that. Let's continue here. We've got Beaker in Idaho listening on TuneIn. Hello, Beaker.
Hi, guys. How's your night going? Happy Halloween.
Yes, excellent. Happy Halloween. Go ahead.
I got a couple things I want to touch on first. First, I'd like to thank DJ for calling in and at least being very honest with what he believes. A lot of people will try to beat around the bush when the hard questions come. And,
Yeah, sure.
He says, "Well, I think you got to get the faith and everything," and I understand that. And I get that. I grew up actually a Mormon, and no longer practicing myself. But I dropped out of the church, and I feel like if there is an all-loving, all-knowing, all-powerful being, he's going to be wise enough to look at individuals and say, "Hey, listen, this person did a good job, so let's let him in that." But I don't necessarily believe there's kind of the main thing I'm calling in about, however, is the Hell House. Get back to that.
Yeah.
You guys ever thought about doing a libertarian Hell House? Like, you just give everybody at the very beginning of this Hell House, you hand everybody one of those bags of chocolate coins, and then they slowly make their way through the Hell House. Various government agencies just take one by one coins. And at the very end, you have Mark up there with his crown, King Mark, laughing and bathing in this pile of coins. I think you ought to look into that next year.
And anyone in the crowd, any one of them who had like the special gets the they have a cryptocurrency in their bag.
Mm-hmm.
You just give them all the chocolate coins that have been taken away from everyone else.
How do I?
Why would someone get the chocolate coins if they have cryptocurrency?
Because the cryptocurrency has gone up while the other coins were taxed out of existence.
How do I make people leave the Hell House $60,000 in debt like every American is to the government?
Well, the truth is, no Hell House could ever compare. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no church Hell House is going to compare to the fiery pits of hell, the 7 levels or whatever. And I don't think any.
I think you're right, though.
Hell House.
You can drive this message home by just taking that chocolate right out of the kid's hand.
Yeah.
As long as they know you're like the government, right? You gotta...
Well, I'll have a crown on you.
Social contract.
Bernie Sanders mask.
Beaker, thanks for the call tonight, man. I appreciate it. Our toll-free number, 855-450-FREE.
Thank you for showing up at my house. I'm going to take your candy, give it to the 1%. You're obviously one of the 1%. I'm going to take your candy and give it to the kids.
I'm going to take their candy.
To go trick-or-treating.
It's for your own good.
I'm going to take their chocolate coin. I'm going to take a bite out of it. I'm going to hand it to the kid next to him.
Let's continue here. We'll go to Dan in Nebraska. Dan, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, Dan.
This is. So I kind of wanted to call in to talk about one of the, I guess, a concept from earlier. I heard you guys talking to that one pastor guy, and what he was talking about was pretty much one of the reasons why I kind of abandoned that whole ideology. And what I wanted to talk about is how I think Anton LaVey should be like a totally important libertarian figure.
That's the Satanist guy, right? Anton LaVey wrote the Book of Satan. Was it the Book of Satan? Is that what it was called? Satanic Bible?
If you've got to get your message out, if you've got to get your message out by couching it in pentagrams, like you're not an important libertarian communicator. I will agree with you that what passes for Satanism seems very much like libertarian philosophy couched in some kind of fake religion.
Jesus. Sounds like he's calling us from the Hell House. I don't know what's going on in the background. I had to put him on hold. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, we don't need Satanism to sneak libertarianism on people. It is a logical and moral position.
Is LaVey a libertarian? I'm not too familiar with.
I haven't seen any good arguments against that statement.
Dan? Okay, so LaVey was actually, one of his most famous quotes was something like, "My philosophy is just Ayn Rand with a ritual attached."
Well, Ayn Rand isn't a libertarian.
Isn't she? I thought she was like one of the most prominent libertarians.
No, she didn't like libertarians.
She hated libertarians.
Well,
she considered her philosophy was called objectivism.
Yeah, but it's darn close, right, Johnson?
I mean, there's
not necessarily.
Some
it's
libertarians
individualist in nature.
Are objectivists.
Okay, so
thanks, Dan, for the call
objectivist
tonight.
philosophy informs libertarianism as it exists today. That's the statement I'm going to make.
Why? I mean, what is it?
Because it's an important foundation.
Libertarianism only has to do with the non-aggression principle.
Yeah.
So how does that informed by objectivism? I mean, the non-aggression principle is the basic stuff you learn in preschool. Hey, don't hit that guy.
So should we read this in her book? For the record, I shall repeat that I
This is your Ayn Rand
many
accent?
times, many times before. I do not join or endorse any political group or movement. More specifically, I disapprove of or disagree with and have no connection with the latest aberration of some conservatives, the so-called hippies of the right, who attempt to snare the younger or more careless ones of my readers by claiming simultaneously to be followers of my philosophy and advocates of anarchism. Anyone offering such a combination confesses his inability to understand either. Anarchism is the most irrational and anti-intellectual notion ever spun by the concrete-bound, context-dropping, whim-worshipping fringe of collectivist movement where it properly belongs.
Yeah, I mean, objectivism is just according to Wikipedia, a philosophical system. So one can be a libertarian and be an objectivist, but one does not have to be an objectivist in order to be a libertarian. There is no evidence to support your belief that objectivism is in any way a foundation of the non-aggression principle.
Well, you're just using a small you're using the non-aggression principle to define libertarianism.
That is the definition of libertarianism.
Objectivism informs libertarianism in the sense that we're talking about libertarian thought. There's far more to libertarianism than simply the non-aggression principle because it has to be...
No, there really isn't.
Okay.
There's more coming up here in moments. 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And you have the woman herself telling you she wants nothing to do with it. This is Free Talk Live.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the Crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The Crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the Crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the Crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder. Long-distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body. Why take another pill? Treat your aches and pains with Sunshine Pillows. Microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra-large body heating wraps. Sunshine Pillows and wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it, even while driving. Sunshine Pillows are designed with your comfort in mind, will not burn you, and will stay balanced on your body to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunshine Pillows start at just $20. Join hundreds of our happy customers and see why Sunshine Pillows has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Click sunshine-pillows.com and take the Sunshine Pillow Challenge. That's sunshine-pillows.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733, and Skype on in to join us there at Skype username LRN.FM. Joining you into the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Johnson.
And Mark.
We are going back to your calls and thoughts. Yuri is on the line via Skype, calling from, I believe, New Hampshire. Hello, Yuri.
Yes, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Hey there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Islamist terrorists. Today was an attack in New York City, 8 people dead.
Yeah, I saw that. We actually had that in the show prep for tonight. A man, some sort of maniac, ran down. He rented a truck from Home Depot, apparently, and ran down a sidewalk and killed, 8, injured another dozen or something like that?
Yeah, so my question is, what you do about it? Because conservatives, they want to limit amount of Muslims who can come to this country, to expand the ban, and you have different approach of advertising Sharia law and supporting mosque in New Hampshire. So
yeah, I don't know if we advertise Sharia law, but certainly the Shire Free Church, which is the organization that's a decentralized, if you want to call it an organization, it's an interfaith church that has, in the case in Keene, as you mentioned, donated some property to our friend Will Coley, who is an imam at this new, soon-to-be-open mosque. We're expecting to see it opened up hopefully sometime in November. It's getting close to being ready for the next phase of construction. There's a lot of repairs that have been going on, but I'm not sure that that has anything to do with promoting Sharia law. Sharia law is a set of rules for Muslims to follow within their religion.
Yeah, my philosophy on this is that I may not think that Islam's the greatest religion around. Frankly, I only really like my religion. But mostly, I would rather have the Islam of Will Coley than the Islam of whoever that guy was that ran over those people today.
Absolutely. Will is a peaceful man, just like many in the Muslim community. And I think that it's important to have somebody like Will out there communicating about what Islam means, his understanding of Orthodox Islam, and expressing that, which is a message of peace. And to express that in a way that people can understand and use that to counter a lot of the propaganda that tends to get run out there when you see a maniac like this killer out in New York City. So that's really the point of the Malik Center, as far as I'm concerned, is to counter a lot of the propaganda with a different side of things, a peaceful side of things.
My concern would be, I agree that Will Coley is a man of peace, but my concern would be that other people, they have different opinion from what you say or what he says about what Sharia law is and what methods to promote it.
Well, other people have a lot of different opinions. I mean, within the Christian community, there are people with a variety of opinions about what laws should be imposed, or who should be imposing them, and whether the police and the government are hands of God or not. I mean, so just because somebody believes something doesn't mean that everybody else in the religion or under the same umbrella is necessarily of an exact same mindset.
Oh, they don't, but as you know, that many countries, modern countries with Sharia law in place, they have different setup from what Will Coley have in mind for it.
No doubt. I can't speak for Will, but I think what he would say would be that those governments are not, true to Islam. They, if they are governments, they're not true to Islam from the get-go.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But for example, if your dream come true and you open the border from New Hampshire for all thousands or maybe millions people to come here, it will be, how would you control it?
Well, I'm not interested in controlling other people.
Be able to convince all people to change their mind.
Oh, I'm not interested in controlling other people. I mean, as long as people are willing to leave people alone, as far as I'm concerned, they should come here.
I'm talking about the case when they want to impose.
Well, that's why we have people with guns in New Hampshire. So if somebody tries to hurt another person, then they can defend themselves.
Yeah, thank you. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk today.
Okay, all right, Yuri. Thank you for the call tonight. I mean, I just don't spend time worrying about what might happen when it comes to open borders. If you believe in freedom, then you got to apply that across every issue, every time. If you want to have an exception, then you don't really believe in freedom. You want freedom for yourself in the way that you want it, but you don't want freedom for other people in other parts of the world, which would include the freedom to come somewhere where they are wanted. Now, if you don't want somebody to immigrate to your property, that's fine. Put up a fence, put rules on your fence, and let people know they're not welcome. That's your business.
Yeah, I don't know. I have infinite tolerance for people, but not ideas. So ideas and ideologies, I'm not gonna support certain ideas, whereas I might support people. So,
but you
for
don't
example,
have to.
I'm okay with like people the Muslims I know. I'm fine with Davi and Will, but every opportunity I get, and Davi's been bothered with me to no end because every time I see something that comes across my wall on Facebook where it's Davi promoting some sort of ridiculous idea in regards to Islam, I will question him on it.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's different than throwing somebody out of a place because you disagree with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can not support someone, but also let them have their life, right? You don't have to intercede with that person's life and say to them, no, you can't come here.
Right.
So, like you're saying that in order to believe in liberty, you have to let everybody come to a given landmass where liberty might exist, and
if they're welcome somewhere, yeah. If someone with private property wants to welcome someone from somewhere else in the world to their private property, they should be able to have that person there.
And I'm fine with all of that. It's just that you can suggest that there are best practices for implementing the ideas of liberty, sort of one at a time, right?
Okay.
Right?
Tell me what you mean.
Well, I mean, what's the most distasteful aspect of the ideas of liberty?
Cannibalism.
Let's implement that first.
Okay.
Does that sound like a bad idea, or do you want to work on your strong points first and then work on your weak points?
Or what are you saying is the weak point about immigration?
I'm not saying that there is. I'm saying that that you can be for the ideas of liberty and say that there is a orderly progression to a world where people can immigrate freely.
Sure, you
could say, for instance,
but you also wouldn't be able to support a police state in order to continue enforcing immigration.
That's
a
really great point, Ian, and it's the one you should make over and over again. That in order to prevent immigration, i.e., in the United States, there's a giant bureaucracy called the Border Patrol and ICE and all this stuff, and they run around ruining families' lives, and they largely do it for nothing. And all these people, this wasteful government bureaucracies, and these people are employed deployed in an area that the marketplace just simply would not support otherwise. This has to be.
Some people in the market would support it. I mean, you can hear amongst supposed libertarians, they're afraid of immigrants. They're afraid. This is like the one issue that's one of the issues that's a libertarian killer, where somebody will claim to be a libertarian and then turn around and claim, oh, well, we need to have border control. Well, no, you either believe in liberty for everybody or you don't get it. Because if you just want liberty for yourself, then I'm sorry, there's going to be a whole bunch of other people who want, to control your actions. And so what you kind of put out there into the world is, what you're manifesting. You're never going to manifest a free world if you want to have controls in that world. Let's go to Sarah. She's in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Sarah. Hello.
Announcing. I'm on?
Yep.
Am I?
You're on. Go.
Yes, they're going to make announcements to tell people to start driving better. What is that nonsense? Do you think people are going to really listen
No.
if they don't get a ticket?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. And then what's amazing is who
Well, I don't think they should get a ticket either.
Myself?
I don't think people are going to listen, number one, but I don't think people should get tickets for a bunch of crap on the roads.
Sarah, right now, tens of thousands of people across America are listening, and they're saying to themselves, I've gotten tickets, and I'm speeding right now. Tickets don't work either.
How about those billboards that are against texting, but then ask you to text a number to get more information? Thanks for the call tonight, Sarah. Appreciate hearing from you. And so, you know what? We never actually got into the details of the Hell House, but I think we still had some interesting discussions that really don't really need to get into it. It's it's a bunch of depictions of sort of pop culture related things. Maybe we'll get into it tomorrow night if we feel like it, because it is kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But we're out of time for tonight. You can join us online between now and then. In the meantime, over at freetalklive.com. And if you like this show and you want to help support us, please amp the show over at amp.freetalklive.com, amp.freetalklive.com. This has been Free Talk Live.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the Bigot no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, October 31st, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.79 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,272 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,215. Antiwar.com reports having faced massive military losses since their September 25th vote to declare independence, Iraqi Kurdistan may be losing its substantial historical autonomy as well, according to Iraqi Prime Minister Haider Abadi. While praising Iraq's military victories, Abadi said that from now on, the Kurdistan regional government could have no say over international borders, control of their own airports, and most significantly, no control over oil exports. This effectively downgrades the Kurdistan regional government to little more than a provincial government that controls a couple of provinces. Abadi says that he would not accept just a symbolic presence at borders and airports, but rather that Iraq's central government must have exclusive control. The Kurdistan regional government has anticipated conflict with Iraq over its independence bid, but appeared to overestimate the ability of the Peshmerga to defend Kurdish soil from the Iraqi military. Apart from a few towns, Kurdish territory has largely fallen without a fight. For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today